Underclothes, where your at-home interactive weekly geek con, all blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
Put that long day behind you, good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile in your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and fair love. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, and some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to May 21st, Monday's episode of Philosopher's Pub, where our topic tonight is going to be cult movies and musicals with charming underclothes, and we'll get to them in just a moment. First, I want to greet our regulars. Let's start with the ever-enthusiastic Elizabeth. What's your vices tonight?
Well, my vice tonight is life in general here in the big city, the big, dirty, filthy city, which has given me laryngitis and yet another horrible cold. Tonight is... what is this? Wild berry zinger with honey on ice. So that's my vice. And water.
What else?
Lots of water.
Real quick, I want to say hello to Cursing Dog, who's hanging out and singing to us in the chat, as well as Gene. Good to see you. Been a while.
Hi, Gene.
Back. And since he is so happy to see you, I want to give Ed the next chance to tell us what your vices are and say hello.
Hey, I am drinking. What the hell am I drinking? Oh, Woodford Reserve Special and caramel apple, vaping caramel apple.
Oh, nice. Nice. How is that?
Very good. Yummy. Goes good with my Woodford Reserve Special.
It's a great room note. And then last but not least, the co-host of my show, the co-host of my life, Andrea.
Okay, let me get off of mute. Hi.
Oh, that's good.
I have tea. I have water. And tonight,
Like a salesman, ain't she?
it is an espresso nub. It's chocolatey coffee goodness.
Nice.
You're smoking on me. Wow.
Real quick, before we introduce our guest this evening, thank you to Tardis Rose for following. Appreciate that. Welcome to Talk at the Tavern. And looks like we got John joining us, Max RPG. Good to see you, buddy. And Talking Toad. So hello, Win. Good to see you. Now for our guest. So we've got the... Oh, I'm going to let her introduce themselves. The Charming Underclothes bosses. They have wit, they have a bad attitude, and they have talent. Why don't you introduce yourself?
And the playroom's over there, actually. Hi, everyone. I'm Syrinx. I'm the founder and the director of Charming Underclothes.
I am Wednesday morning. I am part of the founding members of Charming Underclothes, and I am the director/treasurer.
I'm Morningstar. I'm new to this director thing, but also part of the beginning of the cast, and I am security for the cast.
Very good. What are your vices?
Now, did you say new or nude?
I think you said nude.
Both.
It depends on what movie we're doing.
Nude security. Take out your billy club and knock it out.
So I guess our vices today, mine is Vikings blood. It's mead.
Nice.
Entire bottle's mine.
I am drinking my favorite beer of all time, Dragon's Milk.
That's a stout, correct?
It's a very heavy stout, yes.
Nice.
Very
Is it
caramel.
blue milk?
No. No, you don't pull it from the teat of the alien.
Walrus.
Space Walrus.
And I'm drinking Syrinx's beer.
Good choice. My favorite kind. Somebody else's.
Right. He showed up. He's like, I'm going to grab a drink. I'm like, yeah, okay.
And hello to, let's see if I get the name right here.
B. Delacour.
Yeah. Oh, B! We gotta give a special shout out to B, because B was also one of our founders too.
Our first Frank.
Our very first Frankenfurter that we had up until last August when we did our first Clue show, and she was Wadsworth, and then right after that show, she ended up moving to Michigan. So, but she's the one that actually gets credit for coming up for finding the name of the cast.
Very good, very good. So she's the reason you slap your ass.
Yeah.
No, that's Bonnie and Xander.
No, I'm just saying in general.
The library bards.
Library bards.
It's now a couple other things here before we get going. Everybody, let us know what your vices are. I see Cursing Dog has already told us bourbon, and I want to do the opening toast. Yes, Elizabeth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waving at Pickle Man. He's on the screen.
Oh, is he? Oh, there. Sorry, I thought you needed something. With the whole reason he had them in a crowd. Okay, hey, here's to remembering the things other people forgot and bringing them back till they're in fashion underground.
Cheers.
Oh, what am I doing? That's right. I have some Jameson's Irish whiskey, and I am going to start with a CAO cigar tonight. So a Brasilia. So a nice, rich, full-bodied cigar. And then, of course, I have water and then a side drink if I don't want to drink. Oh, what a Talking Toey says, I'll get a vicey drink at the break. Gene has iced tea with lemon. Oh, and another cold Gene? You poor thing.
They're everywhere.
Don't forget, everybody, the
It's because
subscription.
you keep putting lemon in your tea.
Don't forget,
It's like
everybody.
that iced tea.
Good.
I was gonna say that iced tea should have some whiskey in it. Get rid of that cold.
There you go. For all you guys out there, if you have subscribed to us previously, make sure it hasn't expired and subscribe again if you want to keep up with that. And if you're a new viewer and you have an Amazon Prime account, you can attach it to your Twitch account. Subscribe for free where you get some bonuses and we get a couple bucks. No cost. Other than that, throw some bits at us when you see something that you love or hear something really funny or terribly disgusting. We love that shit.
Or even if you don't like it, throw us bits.
That's right. If you hate us, throw
Maybe
bits at
we'll
us.
change. That'll teach us.
That'll show it. Oh, I have a giveaway we're doing later today. Now, we have a Buffalo nickel, a 1925 Buffalo nickel. Let me hold that up to the camera. Let me get it so I can see my camera. Okay, so we're going to hold that up there, try to take the glare off, and flip it around to the other side where we have the Indian head. 1925, pardon the focus. And we're going to be giving that away with a trivia question later. So make sure you hang out for our second hour. We'll be doing that during This Week in History. We'll give the trivia question at the beginning. And at the end.
Is Bob here?
Not yet.
Because he won our last one.
I just messaged him and told him to get his ass on here.
Real quick, here's to
There you
Merida,
go.
who has joined us, and to Gene, who has subscribed for 6 months in a row now. Thank you both.
You're here.
Okay. So do you know Cursing Dog also?
I do. He's actually a really good friend of ours. Like an amazing potter. Potter extraordinaire. But no, it is Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Mark.
I was trying to sell him up, but we'll just go with Mark.
Well,
he's an amazing potter, but he's Mark.
The reason I mentioned it, because we've talked to him before, but if I don't see somebody on a regular basis, I forget what their screen name is. So, Mark, feel free. You're welcome to post a link in the chat there to your website. Let people find your art, your work, because we do. The Mark, such as victim of a pickpocketing.
You need, post your link. People need those dragon bird feeders. It's like a severed dragon's head. It's great.
Good time.
I've been trying to get him with this idea for a cast item that we do a fishnet coffee mug.
Did you say fish nut?
well, maybe it depends on if his Kern is working, or Kiln is working that night or not. But no, fishnet. Like a fishnet style coffee mug.
Gotcha.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show, fishnet.
Exactly. See, she gets it.
Anyhow, if you see somebody you know, feel free to shout out to them. Don't hesitate to make them feel welcome and recognize them. No problem. That's what the show's about. It's about the community. And
Charters Rose, I think she's still here, is our friend Jenny that lives over in Richmond, I believe.
No.
We see her all the time at RavenCon. So.
Gotcha. Okay. By the way, speaking of, we mentioned Mysticon earlier, or else if we didn't, we would have eventually.
We can.
So
Mysticon.
They got Steve Jackson coming. I'm thrilled.
Yes.
It's
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So I should probably give a full disclosure. So I'm on the board, by the way, for Mysticon, specifically for 2019. But since 2013, I've been the music director for Mysticon.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so I actually knew the Steve Jackson thing for a while, actually.
I was telling Elizabeth, as a filmmaker, I think Mysticon would be a good fit for her to go to because of all the indie films.
Yes, we have an amazing indie film track.
Yes. See? I told you.
Yeah. Like so big, it has its own room for the full 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you allow family horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think after a certain time, I want to say probably like 8 or 9 or so, it turns into 18 and over. So.
That would be perfect in the afternoon.
Applications are up on the website, so you should go to, I think it's mysticon-va.com, and you'll see the application links on the side. Just send it out. And then I can at our next meeting, I can be like, hey, I know this person, you should bring her in.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Kirsten
I'm honored.
Leg lamp. Yes.
Lady
Leg
Skipper
lamp beer
says,
steins.
only Indiana Jones movies? That's right. Only indie movies. It's quite the
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
But we can't show part 2 anymore because of the Asian child named Short Round. They thought that was a racial slur, so part 2's gone.
Thanks for the bits.
Yeah, appreciate that, Brayden. And if you guys will notice, because we missed last week's show, the bit count, the monthly bit goal is way down. But you'll also notice we have set up the counter on top of the chat with the monthly results. So we'll see, if you look at that, you can click it down and see the top 10. So feel free to compete. Where's Bob and Devnall?
They're running late. It's okay.
That feels like, did I get everything we need in the intro? Are we good? Are we good?
We did a toast.
I'll
We did
say.
a roast. We asked Vices.
We said who everybody was.
Okay, I think we're good, right? We could do a patch check. I don't know. Mine's over there.
Mine's upstairs.
Mine's across the street.
I don't have any.
Hold on.
B's got mine.
We have our patches.
Fine.
Oh, hey, Kevin is on there.
Hey, Kev!
So Kevin said, salutation to my fellow hosts, our wonderful guests, and of course all the toddies. I'll be with you in a while, but have the show in the background while I type up an incident report. Looking forward to joining you all soon. Kevin, we hope so, buddy.
We will talk about that on the show.
He lives in the UK, and he runs a pub, tavern, restaurant thing, and it literally caught on fire today.
Oh my God.
So we get to hear that story sometime later.
Kevin, if you want to get out of work early, that's not the way to do it.
And
well, all that alcohol would just burst, wouldn't it?
No, because he's a drunk. He would have dragged it out before lighting it on fire.
Flaming good fun, he says.
And he has redeemed his first cock of the
There's
night.
his cock. We have sound effects.
We do.
And Every 10 minutes that you listen, you get 2 shots, not alcohol, but you can spend these shots for sound effects. And the link should be popping up soon. You click on it for the Stream Elements store. There you go.
Okay. I think we could go to moving to the topic. Did anybody have anything before we go into the topic?
Where's Pickle Man again?
So much fun seeing a little friend rotate through.
I traveled for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, Ed, tell us about that. Where'd you go?
Spent a week at Douthit State Park, down near those guys, as a matter of fact. Just north of Roanoke. It was great hiking and carrying on. And then I spent a week in the Outer Banks where I toured a distillery for this fabulous rum that we're going to do a review on in an upcoming show soon.
Nice.
Which, by the way, you know how we had you guys before we went on air, the We're So-and-so and You're Getting Toasted at Talk at the Tavern. Well, I have told my crew here to do these videos also, and Elizabeth has done some amazing ones. Alone on the subway. Are those leathery thighs you're talking about, Elizabeth? Just slap your
There's a quote from earlier. Slap it.
And then, but also in front of Radio City Music Hall with a mariachi band on the subway play. So Ed doesn't like his face on camera much. So he goes camping and hiking, and he has these beautiful nature vistas, and you'll just see his glass appear in front of the camera with this beautiful background, and he'll be like, I'm getting toasted on Talk of the Tavern. Well, he sent us one from the beach where he put the bottle of bourbon in the sand, half buried, so it looks like it washed up on shore. And there he goes. He starts filming, and you see the wave come in and start to pull the bottle into the ocean. And his wife's on camera and grab it.
My wife sacrificed herself to grab that bottle of liquor, man.
Giggling all the way.
Hey, Skipper!
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. And Miss Nicey? Miss Nicey? Yeah, let us know how you like it pronounced. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here. So, do you know them too? I just assume everybody knew is because of you guys tonight.
Probably. I mean, we advertised the hell out of the show tonight, so.
Okay. Well, let's actually give them what they're here for. You guys talk and we'll stare for a few hours.
Oh, I guess you're getting naked.
Okay.
No, not on Twitch. They'll ban us.
Damn.
No nipples.
No nipples.
So as long as you're wearing your pasties, or my pasties.
Oh, but
I was like, well,
yeah, you did that
I forgot them tonight. They're in my Rocky box.
Oh, thank you, Gene. Appreciate that. It's wow, with all these nice people. Boot and new nipples, says Kevin.
This is why Kevin has 2 patches, so he just puts
So he
one
can
under
cover
his shirt.
his nipples when he takes off his shirt for us. So let's see here. No, okay. Here's the actual deal if you guys are curious. With the nipple thing, they used to have a ban on all nipples, men or women, but they then retracted and went back to their original thing, which is you're not allowed to show genitals in a sexual manner. Now, my thought is, cool, so we could go without shirts. My second thought is, but some asshole is going to report and they're going to ban us anyway, no matter what their policy says, because it's kind of this big, broad spectrum thing. So, yeah. We play safe instead of sorry, but we welcome bikini tops on men or women.
I'll go get mine.
Okay, so...
This has now become Twitch roulette.
That's right. Could be. We have... Okay, so we're talking about cult movies and musicals. Now, we tacked musicals on in case we just tear through cult movies and need something more. That would be great, Mark. I would watch that, and just so you know, that would not be the weirdest thing I have seen on Twitch. I would milk a giraffe on air. You should milk him on the ground instead.
Like, there needs to be a Kickstarter for that, I think.
To milk a giraffe?
Yeah.
Well,
No, from Mark to milk a giraffe.
Yeah,
He'd do it for free. Come on now.
Oh, that is true. He would cast it and make a pot out of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious.
As long as you don't show the nipples.
That's so they'll send him a bull instead of a cow giraffe. That's not a milk bowl I'm milking.
No jerk in the gherkin.
Well, since we're still waiting for some viewers, because we usually have, they're a little while.
Our little regulars.
When is your next performance, guys?
Oh, thank you.
So we actually just did Clue in Charlottesville on the 18th. So right now we're off for a couple months. I'm actually looking at my schedule. So we're off for June and July for right now. But our next confirmed date will be August 25th. We'll be doing Clue again in Lynchburg.
How do people get tickets?
Those actually get set up from the venue itself. So as we get closer to the date, there'll be the Eventbrites or whatever they're using. But if they can follow our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/cu@rhps. As we get closer to the
I
date,
put up
the link to your website.
I put the link to your website up.
yes.
And I'm going to be putting that in a second. I'm going to
Awesome, thank you. Just as we get closer to the dates and I get the specific information from the venue, the shows will come up. But yeah, so we got a little bit of a summer vacation right now, and then but August, September, and October we're back out.
Very good.
And yeah, so we're officially the Roanoke cast, but we're also officially the Charlottesville cast and the Lynchburg cast.
Nice.
And then we travel all the way out to RavenCon as well. So
little tramps, aren't you? Get all over the place. Real quick, Ian says, "Hello there, all you lovely, lovely people. Good news, Mom's back home. Glad to hear it, buddy. Glad to
Great to hear, Bo.
home. Hopefully she's doing so much better and out of any kind of problems that she was facing. Here's to your mother. May she live longer than now."
Viking bride.
So, I'm here for all your awkward needs. I mean, not like my geometry teacher in 7th grade, not that kind of awkward need. But, the other No. Oh, Grouchy is making
You
the
say
cat.
awkward, I say hello.
Yeah, you do.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, dude.
So while we're waiting for everybody to show up, all our regulars, we will pop over here. I'm going to define, a la Wikipedia, what the hell a cult film is. Basically, a cult film is one that didn't do well, that later, whether it's 2 months or 20 years later, gets a following that kind of revives it all on their own and brings it back into style in this weird way that we love. Actually, I didn't read from Wikipedia at all, but okay, so is pretty good definition. Anybody want to add something to that?
It's something. I think it was a movie. My take on it is that a movie that obviously had good intentions of the wide audience and the big box office that failed, but then found its niche audience and then has really grown bigger than the than the blockbusters, just in in its own little family. That's my take.
Yeah,
Wednesday?
like on the high seas there. What are you doing? Okay,
Do you two have?
I feel like that's actually really accurate. Like, cult movies did terrible, but then, it found a community. It's just like, hey, you really are part of this family kind of thing, and now you belong to this movie.
Yeah, we'll support you, you support us.
Yeah.
Now, a couple huge examples. Plan 9 from Outer Space, Rocky Horror Picture Show. These are two of the big ones. Andrea?
When you're done with your thought, I have a question for them about this. Go ahead.
Okay, let me see if I can throw out one or two more that are just obvious. Really, they're calling Wizard of Oz a cult, which makes a cult film, which makes sense because it didn't do terribly well in the beginning. But obviously,
I have a list.
You have a list. Okay, so anyhow, what's your question for them?
Okay. Now, I know you guys are younger than us, and you've been doing Shadowcast of Clue.
Well, and Rocky.
And Rocky.
Rocky Horror is what we're founded on.
Well, I'm going with the Clue thing because you guys are younger. We kind of grew up with Clue when it came out. That's kind of our movie. And you guys came after. So we look at it differently. What is it about that movie that appeals to you?
While you're thinking about that, real quick, Gene says B-rated movies found their following, and Ian throws out Evil Dead. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, but I like the B-rated movies that found the following idea, but I don't know if all cult movies are necessarily B-rated movies, though.
No, just not necessarily box office smashes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would probably go more on the box office financials.
They both fall under cult classics.
Right, yeah. But I will admit that a lot of B-rated movies are the cult movies. That's what you would think of from the get-go. But so back to the question at hand, though.
Well, I had never played the board game, so Clue the movie is the only thing I knew about. So
we have fixed this now, though. She has played the board game, and actually, we even went and bought the Master Detective one, which came with like 4 different characters. So,
but honestly, the movie was my introduction to the game. So, but I love it because it's like weird and funny, and it's definitely very physical. I have 6 bruises and a scrape on my foot from that last show.
This is true.
We measure our shows in bruises and fishnet markings.
And then we autograph them.
I measure my taxes.
I will say, though, like, going back to, like, Evil Dead, I will say, is probably one of our favorite movies as far as cult movies, and then Army of Darkness. Well, you liked Army of Darkness.
I like
Army of Darkness. I like both of those. A lot of people that I know, actually, that are my age, don't actually even know what those movies are, and then I have to introduce them to those movies.
That's our job.
Yep.
For me, Clue, as much as I would love to say that I got the Clue from Tim Curry, I actually didn't get into Rocky until after Clue, so that wouldn't have worked. For me, it was actually Michael McKean, because I'm a huge Spinal Tap fan. So for me, Michael McKean was like everything to me at that point.
For those older folks, that's Lenny from Laverne and Shirley.
Yes, it is. And most people, even Spinal Tap fans, don't even know that there was actually a sequel to this Spinal Tap. Not as good.
A lot of people don't realize that wasn't a real band.
No, but they released 2 albums. No, I'm sorry, they released 3 albums at this point. So could go either way at this point.
Like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers weren't real, but then they became real.
Or the Monkees.
Oh yeah, and Mike Nesmith has a big stake in music history alone, just in the music video department.
Yep.
But no, like I came to it from Michael McKean really, and if you look at the cast in that '80s mindset, that was an all-star cast in that movie.
It was. Christopher
Lloyd, Michael McKean, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn, heartthrob.
Yeah. So that's how I found it, and I think, and I know like a lot of movies, like there was a lot of movies that always came out in pairs. Like you had The Matrix, and then you had this other movie, and then there was always these pairs of movie. And I remember the one for Clue was always Cloak and Dagger.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was kind of an obscure 80s movie.
Dabney Coleman and 2 kids, and not related to the comic book at all, and a huge disappointment.
Yeah, it wasn't the comic book movie at all. But now they're making the comic book
TV
movie,
series.
So.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's what brought me to Clue, and then now that Rocky is such a big part of my life, you can obviously see all the Rocky callbacks in Clue. Tim Curry, The Mansion, The Rainy Night, The Motorist is essentially Brad Majors, So that's what I always love about it, is that there's all these little mysteries to the movie. Like there's more to the movie than what you're just watching. And if you ever watch the trailer to Clue, there's dialogue and a couple scenes that's not in the final film at all, but that exist in the trailer.
Yeah, this is why the deleted scenes are so important on everything I buy now. By the way, Mark says cult movies are actually a discussion of the democratization of art. When the money of an established critics dodge a piece, but it still finds an audience. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, Clue specifically got, like, really trashed by the critics because they were trying that. It was a brand new marketing scheme where every theater had a different ending because there was 3 endings.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So when you go to this theater and it would be ending A, and you go to this theater and it would be ending B, and this you would have ending C, but you never knew what movie you were getting at that time.
Till it came on
And
the
then-
table.
Yeah, and then they merged all 3 endings, and we got the Scooby-Doo endings, and then it found its audience. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
That was genius. Marketing-wise, I knew a lot of people that bitched and whined about it, but for me, I just thought it was fun that, hey, it could happen more than one way. Yay.
Right. And for those that don't know, they actually filmed a 4th ending that obviously doesn't exist on anymore, but the Wadsworth, the butler played by Tim Curry, poisons everybody with the cognac, and it just slowly deteriorates as the movie goes on and everybody dies. But they found it a little too morbid and scrapped the whole thing. But yeah, so there was an actual 4th ending to the movie.
I don't know.
I always thought you were joking about
Yeah. My personal favorite's the 3rd. I always love the 3rd ending, especially playing Mr. Green, because Mr. Green comes out as the winner. Plus, it's got Mrs. White's flame, which is the only improv moment of the movie. The flames. Oh, you should know. But she plays Mrs. White. I play Mr. Green.
He plays the chief.
It's
Oh,
like
you want you
Chief
to do
Motors.
flames. Oh God.
Yeah, flames.
I hated her so much. It's flames. Out of my face. Breathing breath. Heaving breath. And I get cut off. Then I'm very sad.
When we were at RavenCon, before you went on, Mrs. Peacock went past, and Andrea just loved her outfit, not realizing that was Mrs. Peacock for Clue. But
Great
she
outfit
looked
either
great.
way.
Yeah. So pass that on. She looked great.
Will do.
Mark has more intelligent stuff to say. We are no longer
Usually.
we are no longer left relying on the opinions of the salon. When the audience decides itself, you get a cult hit, largely born of alternative distribution streams, starting with VHS and ending with Twitch. No, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. It's
Yeah.
And then again, there's also those out there that the critics just rave about, that the rest of the world goes, eh.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Well, so often films suffer from the marketing department doesn't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to
Right.
advertise it. They don't know, and it takes us, the audience, a while to discover it and to spread the word. And time passes, and then we love the film.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and that's what happened with Rocky Horror, is that it came out as a feature film, and there was no audience for it. But then someone at 20th Century Fox got the idea of, like, let's just make this a midnight movie, and that's where it found its home and became this cult phenomenon that, here we are 40 plus years later, it's still the longest continuous running movie ever.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Andrea?
I'm saying everybody go to picklemanproductions.com. Let's make Zombie Pickles from Space the next cult classic.
Let's do it.
Done.
That worked.
Done. You can be a pickle.
I can be a pickle.
And you can be a zombie.
Okay.
They're zombie pickles.
Zombie pickles.
Hey.
Can we be a zombie eating a pickle?
Yes, we have that.
Okay, I'm in. I like fried pickles, actually, so.
So you're a zombie sticking your hand with the pickle inside the fryer?
Yes. Well, that's how I became a zombie, is because of all the oil splashed up on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that Princess Bride is a cult?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, at all. And
Yeah.
I adored that movie when I first saw it. My God. And I saw Clue in the theater. I was in Germany, and it was on base, and we watched it. So there you
Nice. Nice.
Madeline Kahn. I adored Madeline Kahn.
Yeah.
Any
same
movie
here.
she was in, I go see.
Do
Anything.
you, do you remember if you had a specific ending, or did you have all three?
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay.
Honestly, don't remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't. What year did that come out? Like 80?
Let me think about it. I might remember.
86? What year did Clue come out?
88.
85?
I don't know.
5 or 6.
Mid
It's
80s.
yeah,
We'll go with mid 80s.
mid 80s. Yeah, mid 80s.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw it till it hit cable, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I got all three endings.
Yeah.
So what other? See, here's one I'm going to plug: a cult movie that I love that doesn't have the following it should yet. Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis
Oh, it was fun.
is just a great, silly, fun movie.
Clue was 85.
Thank you. It's What about you guys? You got any movies that just aren't popular that you feel like they should be?
Well, I was like, well, Repo's already kind of popular, but Devil's Carnival, it's made by the same guy who does Repo the Genetic Opera. It's literally like 45 minutes long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got like 3 stories. It's very like an Aesop's Fable kind of thing in hell, and I love it.
I like it because it has Emily Autumn in it.
Yes!
Emily Autumn fan. Yeah.
Nice. What was the name again?
Devil's Carnival. It's got a sequel, but you have to be prepared because it is like a 2-hour-long movie. I was not prepared and did not
That's how
enjoy it as much. Yeah, the sequel's all like
Yeah.
It's the same people that did Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yeah, Terry Sedinich.
But it's not a sequel to Repo. Repo's its own movie.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, Repo's actually a trilogy, but no one really knows that because the Repo the Genetic Opera was the only one that made it to film. The rest was on Broadway.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought Repo was its own thing.
Now you know. We're educational here at the tavern.
But we get the star. The more you know.
Half of that. Elizabeth, you got a favorite movie that just never made it big that should definitely have some attention and love?
Well, I said Princess Bride, right? I adored Lady Hawk.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh my god, I remember that movie.
Matthew Broderick and go ahead.
Rutger Hauer. It was just, even with Matthew Broderick, it was still a good movie. That was Michelle Pfeiffer. I think that was the first movie I ever saw. And the camera just loves her. And there's that scene where she comes out of the dark and it just moves into camera. And when she first meets Matthew Broderick, and it's just such a glorious shot. It almost looks like a Baroque painting. Fabulous.
Fabulous. I don't know if it's a cult classic. I don't think it is. But talking about that kind of beauty, the first time I saw Uma Thurman on screen was Adventures of Baron von Munchausen, where she played Venus. She was so beautiful in that shot.
Yeah.
And later I saw in other movies, I'm like, she's kind of normal looking, but in that.
But they get that shot just right. Yeah. Good stuff.
By the way, B says, talked about on last year's cult panel from RavenCon featuring CU. I've finally seen Cannibal the Musical, and it's hilarious. Gene, enjoy your ice cream. It's I have not seen it yet.
Is that the one that
because we decided to watch Zombievers
instead of
Zombievers.
What about you, Ed? You got any favorites?
Speaking of Rutger Hauer, Flesh and Blood. Love that movie.
I don't remember.
And
sounds
wait, did you just say Rutger Hauer?
Yeah, Rutger
Hauer. So I'm gonna throw over Wanted Dead or Alive with Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Hauer.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer was in Flesh and Blood with Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's a medieval type film, and it's love that movie.
Okay. I'm getting a list of movies to watch here.
Full frontal nudity of Jennifer Jason Leigh, may I also add.
Nice. That's better than full frontal nudity of Rutger Hauer.
Well, you get that too.
Lady in the audience.
You know what we watched recently? Andrea, what's the thing with Marshall from How I Met Your Mother that we just watched, like 2 nights ago?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I like
about
that.
full frontal nudity a lot
Yeah.
of the lead male. And then Ed, he did that thing you do where he wiggles his hips and he goes slap, 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 slap.
That hurts. That's painful, man. You get
Hey, I
bruises
like
all
it
between your
because-
thighs.
Finally, male frontal nudity and no female nudity.
This is true. But it's really good. I love reading Sarah Marshall.
It was a fun movie. I don't know if it's a cult classic or I think it's too soon to call it a cult classic, but it was romantic comedy done right in the sense that you weren't flooded with these predictable tropes. They were in there, but you weren't hit in the face with them, unlike his penis. He has nothing to be shy about, that's for damn sure. I don't
Are
think
you sure it was him?
I'm trying to
I don't know. It could have been stunt junk.
Stand-in.
I'm trying to find my disc so I could show everybody the cover that I really enjoy. That I haven't heard too many people that have seen it. Knights of Badassdom.
Yes!
Love that movie.
The soundtrack's awesome as well.
They've got the obscurities on me. So.
It's LARPers, where real demons attack them, and it has what's his name from Game of Thrones, Andrea.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
There we go.
Dinklage.
Really?
Yeah, it's got Peter
Yeah,
Dinklage in it.
Okay.
And it's got Summer Glau also.
It does.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And just
She's.
go ahead. You want
I was
to?
gonna say Summer Glau is awesome. I mean, obviously, Firefly,
Yay!
right? Yeah.
That's Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs. Thanks.
Mark said.
Elvira,
Yeah,
Mistress of the Dark.
oh, there's a
I'm
cult
sorry.
classic. Yeah.
I love that.
Kiss movie in the park.
Oh, yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess I got a couple, right?
That's cool.
So, the three deep underground movies that I love throwing out.
Uh-huh.
So, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Say it again.
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Gotcha.
It's the other one.
Minus.
The one.
Wait, yeah, I'm saving that for
Oh,
last.
okay.
Oh, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band
Okay.
and The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
A Lost Skeleton. Yeah. I remember when
Yes.
that came out. Only 2000, 2001 when it came out. And
Right.
I have it.
Yeah, after seeing it on demand or something, I went out and bought it as soon as I could because that's just fun.
Were you at last year's RavenCon?
Mm-hmm.
So we are the first cast that have the honor of being the first ones to shadowcast Lost Skeleton.
That's right.
Courtney Skinner, the the prop designer, came to our show and brought us the original mutant head from the movie for us to wear in our debut show at
That's
RavenCon.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And yes, B. Rower.
Yeah,
Right.
he was our Anamala.
I was the stage mistress / florist and a
I
farmer
was,
for like 5 minutes.
I was Crowbar.
And I was Dr. Roger Fleming.
Andrew, did you have something?
I wanted to say if you type RAR with the exclamation point in front, the cat will do it.
RAWR, the cat will react.
Is that you?
No,
No?
that was
Yeah, it's me.
that's cute.
She wants to see it.
I have both on deluxe.
Oh, it roars. Oh, it flashes.
There's 3 different reactions. So if you type it 3 different times, you get a different thing each time. So Kevin says, I remember 2 huge cult classics in Elvira. Well done, Kevin.
Oh my goodness.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
There's a small delay. Give it a second.
And you bump.
Oh, and yeah.
Litter box.
Angry kitty.
That would be hilarious.
Litter box is the other cat.
That happens in real life. It's so what do you think? What brings a movie back like that? Because it's not on purpose. These things just reemerge vaguely out of the mist, and then we go, oh my god, it's here, and I remember that. And
I feel like for Rocky, it was definitely like, this was a really shitty movie. Let's bring it back and make fun of it, and it stuck.
Right.
but is it a shitty movie? Like,
It's not, but that's probably where it came from.
it's a lousy.
It's not a very good movie if you watch it just to watch it.
no, I agree that the continuity of the filming isn't great, but Rocky. Okay, so Rocky came out in the late 70s, and to this day, there's no other movie that looks like that movie.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're in social conscious and
Tim Curry.
and Tim Curry.
Yeah, we just blamed everything on Tim Curry.
No, it was the hype. Like it was. If Richard O'Brien was almost like the John Waters of the 70s, like
John Waters.
Yeah, I mean I mean, to me, that's the real answer to your question, Travis.
So how
is
come
that
part 2 didn't take off?
shock treatment? I love shock treatment. I want to shadowcast shock treatment so bad.
You like shock treatment?
I do. I like shock treatment.
I'm a big fan of shock treatment. So I honestly, I don't think it took off with from the audience standpoint because it didn't look like Rocky whatsoever. But as its own movie.
Okay, so see when you keep saying Rocky and you forget there's some other film with that name, and you confuse me. You're like, it didn't look like Rocky. I'm like, wait, is he talking about part 2? Didn't look like Rocky Horror Part 1, or is he talking about the boxer and that's what people are looking for in Rocky Horror?
Oh no! But the best part of Rocky 4 was the robot butler. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Gene. Here's to you, dear. I feel better, and hope you're enjoying the episode.
Thanks.
Toby says, I was in Rocky Horror Picture Show cast in the late 70s. Shadow casting is so much more organized and pro now. And Ian says, Dead Gentleman Productions, the game series, is similar to the Knights of Badassery, with lower production value, but still very nostalgic.
It is, and I love it too as well.
Is it good too?
It's really good.
Tell him the secret behind Repo, because a lot of people don't know about the Saw reference.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was like, well, he's wanting to bring up Repo. That for Rocky, they actually had a budget and everything, like for Rocky. Repo was literally, they're just like, hey, we're gonna kind of tail end off of Saw, so we're just gonna say we need all these props for Saw. And then I think literally they found out in the middle of production, and then that's where you get the scene of just plastic, some extras, and then the guy, and that's it.
That's good.
And if I would like to comment on Towie's post. So I would agree that shadow. I mean, there's shadow casts all across the globe. I mean, there's. Off the top of my head, there's like 6 or 7 of us in Virginia alone. So I would agree with that. And I know like back in the late 70s, early 80s, it was just you show up in costume and then you just kind of rush the stage for a particular scene and then you go back to your seat. So I would agree with that, that it's more of an organization now. But I'm curious, like, Towie, were you there with like, because if you're in the late 70s, you got to be there like at the dawn, the creation of the first callback and the first props, and like I'm really interested to hear your story on that.
See, now while she's typing that out, by the way, that is Wynn, who we made the card game Awkward Compliments together. She's a game designer, author, etc., and she's often at RavenCon and.
And she wrote a comic book, which I don't have near me right now, but it's awesome.
But anyhow.
Wait, who wrote the comic book?
Talking Towie.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Said this mark. I'm sorry.
Game design, author, etc., etc. So quite a talented woman, and such a dry, straight delivery of her comedy. It's fucking awesome because 90% of the people are like, oh, she spoke, and 10% of the people is like, oh my god, she's fucking hilarious. She's got that sense of humor.
Nice.
But yeah, I see. I didn't start going to Rocky Horror till I guess I was 18 or 19, which would put it very late 80s, beginning of the 90s. And that's where they already had the bags. Gene, feel better. Have a great night. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate that. And there's the comment.
Good night, Gene.
There's a goddess with 4 boobies in it, just so you know.
Aw, that's pretty cool.
That looks cool.
It's Bat. It's the cat goddess. So, yeah.
It's like from the 90s.
And then after seeing that, I went, why 4 instead of 6 or 8? What do cats have? And we Googled it, and basically cats can have 6 or 8 nipples. Who knew? I guess I get an option and check that box.
Nice, Gene.
I don't know what they're doing. What are you doing?
We were touching our nipples.
You made
You
your
got it.
nipples, so we had to make
You
sure
got
we
it.
still had ours.
Yeah, I've got all 4 of mine. But yeah,
I'm going to get the episode later.
by the time I got in and started doing this, they would hand you the brown paper bag with what you're allowed to bring in, as opposed to letting people bring whatever destructive stuff they wanted. But it was still not professional yet. It was an organized group in the sense that they got together and went, okay, you're that, you're that, you're that. But it wasn't going places and doing it in preset times. It's just that movie ran Saturday night at midnight every week.
Right.
So
That's so what TC does. They do it at a movie theater every weekend
Every
on
week,
Saturday night at midnight.
okay, there you go. It's
TC.
Mhm.
Yeah, TC is the Fairfax, our sister cast, Transylvanian Concubines. That's where I got my start.
nice. I like the name. It's and I think Toey's typing a lot. She's a fast. But we
Nice.
can tell. So we'll get her answer to that in just a moment here.
Yeah. Because you started when with them?
I started about 2015 with them. I got on cast, and then we performed every weekend. I had to be there, and this is like an hour away from where I lived at the time. I had to be there by 10:30, 11, so that we could get everything straightened up and have our cast meeting, and then the doors would open at 12, and we do our whole pre-show thing, and it was great, and I'd be out of there by 2 after cleaning everything up, and then I'd be at work the next day at 7.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, Ohio.
Toei
Okay.
did
So,
respond, which if I
Yeah.
can read this whole thing out so anybody who's not paying attention or watching on YouTube later. Talking Toei says, I was Rocky Horror Picture Showing in Ohio, Phoenix, Tucson, and LA in 1978, 1979. Typically, there was a set of regulars at each theater who just agreed among themselves who was playing what character. We camped out in the front row and did our little bits as they came up. There was also a lot of segregation in that one theater would draw the straight crowd, another the gay. Which that's interesting.
I want to know your story because so because I'm from Ohio. So I was born in Cleveland, but lived most of my life in Columbus, and I got my Rocky start in Columbus. I was part of the cast there at Studio 35, and started in 2005, and was with them until I moved to Virginia.
I got it.
So that was 2011. So 2005 to 2011. I was on that cast and came down here,
Weird.
moved to Roanoke, and I was like, where's the Rocky cast? And there wasn't one. And I'm like, I'm going to start one. And, here we are. And I found these wonderful people here.
I moved down to here for this cast.
I lived here already. It's okay.
Who's creeping around behind you?
Who's what?
Somebody just came in. Your
Cedric, maybe?
It probably.
Guy.
Probably could be
Cedric.
probably my roommate, which is another cast member, actually.
I'm gonna go find out.
just
He's gonna go.
give it.
Yeah, that's Boss.
He was Bishop in your superhero Rocky Horror, wasn't he?
You were Bishop,
Yes,
right?
you were Bishop, right?
No, he was the bishop. You were
No,
wrong.
no. That was D-Man. I was Power Man.
He was
Power
Power Man.
Man. Man.
That's right. I
Power
complimented
Man,
you
yeah.
on your outfit.
Yeah, Travis complimented you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Yeah, he was outside. You don't need that outside.
We're about to go into our break here. Andrea, did you want to say something before we do?
We're going into a break, that's all.
So we're going to
Oh,
take a
thanks.
5-minute break here. get our refills and everything, and we'll be right back. You guys want to join us for the second hour?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is so much fun.
Excellent. Don't forget to mute yourself so that we don't bombard these nice folks with our jibber-jabber behind scenes.
Right.
And we'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we'll get back to what Toei just replied with. Be right back, guys.
Yes.
Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sounds of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenchie and the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fae Magazine and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of TeslaCon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bizarre here, Lord Monty, right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes!
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day steampunk festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tuesday, Middle Aged Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpicar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Velo from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Gin, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is Author Singer Katie Trapp.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the Mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola Radio Escuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy.
We are Warren and Betsy Talbot of MarriedWithLuggage.com.
This is Christopher Meeker, author of Hawthorne, Chronicles of the Brass Hand.
This is Mickey Wonderland, Steampunk Fairy Princess of Wonderland with a fresh cup of Mad Hatter tea.
Hi, this is Margaret McGraw, author of the prompt writing blog WritersSpark.com, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hello, this is Mishkin from Bird Eats Baby.
This is Nim Derringer of Airship Hypatia.
This is Painless Parker.
This is Persephone Burroughs Dimebagger, co-captain of the Airship Hypatia.
This is Psyche of Psyche Corporation.
Ahoy, me darlings. This is Misty Massey, author of Mad Kestrel, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
I'm Ellie Ann from Steampunk Homes, author of Slice of Life and The Silver Sickle. Hope you enjoy the show.
This is Captain Jared Cornwall of the Melanie Rose.
Hi, this is Lucy Luminos with Tinker the Web Series.
This is Travis Fessler, the steam-powered circus freak from the Pickled Brothers Circus.
This is Scott Norman of The Wars of Other Men.
I'm Mr. Cat of the Cat in Black Art, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Wendy Callahan, author of The Cronus Clock.
This is Daniel Burrow, creator of Tefra, the steampunk role-playing game, Cheers and Gears, and Good Gaming.
This is Tempest Wolf, actor and producer of Tinker web series, Tinker by Name, Tinker by Nature.
This is Shelley Dusick, the captain of Vandalia Con, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Did you know Talk of the Tavern also publishes books? Make sure you look us up online. We're on Amazon.com.
Okay, and we're back. So now you come off on mute.
All right.
There we go. We got you now. And talking Toei said, my Rocky Horror Picture Show theater was the Falls in Cuyahoga Falls near Akron.
Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga.
Yeah, someone who's from Ohio. Cuyahoga. That would have been it's now the 6th and 9th floor show is the name of that.
I'll tell you what, part of my childhood was spent in Cincinnati, but I still going to mispronounce Cuyahoga. So I don't think it matters. But if you've ever seen Devo's original Are We Not Men video, that was filmed near their Rocky Horror spot.
Oh, nice. I love Devo, actually. So.
Good stuff. And go ahead and reply to that. Go ahead and comment on that. Give your
I mean, I don't really have any follow-up. I'm just, like you were obviously there. That's like the dawn of the history of the cult following, like with the prop backs and the first callbacks. And so, like, I know, like, most of it started in New York and LA, but no, it's just cool that you're there and you were part of this, the beginning of it.
Think
and
about it this way. Quinn might have wrote one of the original callback lines.
He wants to be seen.
Oh, well, get in here, man. Get in here.
By the way, are you a cable fan? Did you see Deadpool 2?
We did. Yes, we saw it on Saturday.
Sirix, I know how you are.
Have you seen Infinity Wars yet?
No, haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen that.
Alright.
Okay, so I'll give you this little tidbit. I was, as a comic fan and as a guy that worked at a local comic shop for years, I was extremely happy with Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Thought it was really good.
I've told people it's good for irreverent film, it's good for breaking the fourth wall, and it's good as a comic book team film. So all in all, pretty damn pleased with it.
Yeah. Yeah, my non-spoiler review of DP2 is that it's better than DP1.
Does anybody else just hear double penetration when he says this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I thought too.
1 and 2.
So speaking of double penetration,
what's the
so another movie. So Winston's like, you're out of the cast. So here's another movie that is literally a 70s porn movie, but I do feel like it's gained cult status at this point. Debbie Does Dallas.
Okay.
Throw that out there.
Wow. It's there.
Show of hands, how many of us have seen Debbie Does Dallas? I think I've seen part of it when I was like,
the back
mid to late teens somewhere. Yeah. By the way,
it's just a beer.
Toei says, no, I never came up with the callback line. Toei, in our world, you did. Okay? Don't break our delusions.
Just go with it, Toei. Just go with it.
I always thought it was a shame I'd never heard of amateur roleplay for cats like Rocky Horror Grease. I think that would be great also for Debbie Does Dallas to have a shadow cast of that.
See, I'm with you there. I'm totally for it.
I think they already do that on Pornhub,
I know we do it when watching it on
amateur
Pornhub.
channel.
Thanks, Kevin.
So, Cats actually gets referenced in Rocky via callbacks. Grease?
Grease,
I haven't heard anybody do Shadowcast of Grease. I've heard of plays.
No.
Cats, I specifically know there's reasons why you can't do that as an amateur group, because Andrew Lloyd Webber has some issues.
Right. And I don't know if I would consider it, like, Grease wouldn't be a cult movie, but Grease 2...
Yeah, with Michelle
would definitely... Yeah. Cool Rider. Cool Rider.
I think you get the part, man.
Cool Rider. Cool Rider.
Elizabeth, can you straddle a ladder when you sing that for me?
I can barely.
It's Ian says, not a big fan of T.S. Eliot, not so much Cats in general. If you mean Cats, the Broadway production, I agree with you. If you mean Cats, the animals, fuck you, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
I have a dream that we take our tiniest Rocky Horror cast member and stick him as Frank, and then all the rest is cats. So pretty much, it'd be like Cats the musical.
So every other cast member is a cat? A real cat?
No, a real cat.
That would be awesome.
I've already casted some of the cats.
Yes, Elizabeth?
Isn't it time for history?
I totally spaced out on that one. Hold on a second, guys. I got all excited. Let's do this real quick. Sorry, Ed.
This week
Thank you, Elizabeth.
in history.
This is why we need Ed to speak up once in a while, because Travis goes wanders off and sees something shiny. Ed, what happened?
I'll just wait my turn. This week in history, shit happened, y'all. May 21st, 1927, Charles Lindbergh becomes the first person to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic. May 21st, 1932, Amelia Earhart becomes the first woman to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic. May 21st, 1938, you see in a pattern here, the first commercial nonstop flight completes its crossing of the Atlantic.
And real quick, if I can interrupt, the trivia question, guys, for the 1925 Buffalo Indian Head Nickel is, who was the first female governor in the U.S., and what state did she become governor of? Keep in mind, you must be a subscriber to win, and I'm writing down everybody who throws an answer out. So let us know who the first female governor in the U.S. was and what state did she become governor of. Sorry about that, Ed. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. We need to get together on this just in case I have that, for this weekend.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? You'd be like, here's the answer, guys.
We didn't say the questions were hard.
Or that Travis would say the answer randomly.
Right. May 25th, 1977, May the Force be with you. Star Wars A New Hope opens in theaters.
Yeah!
Empire Strikes Back opened exactly 3 years later.
Still my number one movie. Still the number one Star Wars movie.
We released Star Wars subtitling it A New Hope for the first time ever.
Right. 30 years ago, the movie Willow premiered in theaters.
What'd you think?
Hello!
There's a cult movie.
Yeah.
Love it!
Yeah.
Your mother was a lizard!
Squiggy's in that.
Yeah, I felt like they tried to do too much with it. That it would have been better if they spent more money on one special effect and totally skipped one of the others. But that's my own complaint. I enjoyed it. And Val Kilmer, that's back when he was pretty. Now, not so much.
Yeah, something like that.
Lenny and Squiggy were in it.
Both.
Yes.
They were both in it. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
17 years ago, the movie Shrek premiered in theaters.
Still
my God.
17 years.
Oh,
wow.
And one I have from last week, 36 years ago, Conan the Barbarian premiered in theaters.
Still the best Conan movie yet.
Still the best ever. Amazon is set to come out with a series that is supposed to more closely follow Robert Howard's books. We'll see how that works out.
You know, they in the late 90s, early 2000s, they re-released the Conan books by other authors. They wrote new stories, including Robert Jordan and a few others. They're actually pretty good. Wasn't bad.
Some of them were very good, yeah. Deaths, I didn't look up any deaths for this week, but this one was last week, and of course we missed it because of technical difficulties. Margot Kidder, Lois Lane from the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, passed away. Did anybody else have any more deaths?
Anybody else die? Anybody here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then we'll move to weird news. You got any weird news, Andrea?
It's not really weird, but it does pertain to the cult classics, Bill and Ted. They are going to make a third movie. It is Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh, is that the official title?
Yes.
I still don't know how I feel about this, because my biggest concern with this whole, well, actually two biggest concerns. One, it's been so long, but the big thing for me is George Carlin's not with us anymore.
They bring somebody else in who hasn't been.
Yeah, like who's going to be Rufus, or is there going to be a Rufus?
There's technology. They could probably put him in the film.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be.
Yeah, but.
Oh, they'll just make it like he's Rufus, but his DNA's in a robot, or he wore out that last body, or he's been regenerated again. They got.
I'm looking forward to the next Beetlejuice movie that everybody has shown interest in.
Yeah.
Because with the makeup, it doesn't matter. He's 30 years older because he'll still look the same.
Is it still Michael?
Yeah, he's interested.
Yes.
And Tim Burton and I believe Danny Elfman.
Winona Ryder too, right?
I would have to check because I didn't care.
I mean, she's gotta be. There was a whole cartoon based off of Beetlejuice and Winona Ryder.
I love that cartoon.
Do you?
Well, and now she's on Stranger Things, so who knows about her schedule?
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know what? I just
saw a preview. She's in another movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And they're like two strangers that meet at someone's wedding in Spain. And I don't know if the their chemistry is any good, but the writing is very funny. So, I can't remember what you call it. I just saw it this morning.
Travis, Kevin says check your messages.
Check my messages. Is it time to bring a Kevin in? Just finished everything. Hold on. I'm poking this. Oh, I'm touching that. I'm swiping that.
Oh my.
Wanker! Everything. Do you want me to join it or wait until... I don't know. Let's bring Kevin in. Anybody got a problem with Kevin or Britt joining us?
No. Kevin. You gotta have Kevin.
Absolutely. Andrea has an issue with it, though, so she get to flick him off.
Yeah, I always have an issue. Bring one anyway.
Funny thing is, I don't think he's actually logged up. Now he's logged in. Okay.
He's on. I'll wait for him to get here for our run through birthdays.
There we go. And then, I have birthdays too, and I've got to make sure adjust the screen accordingly, because now with Kevin in.
What up, bro?
He's the one we warned you about pre-show.
How's everyone doing?
Very
I'm
well.
fucking fantastic. Nothing makes my day like my business trying to burn itself down. Brilliant.
That's hot.
Yeah, it is.
Flaming good fun.
Let's see here. Nope, that's not it.
Elizabeth, you need to work on your pronunciation of the word wanker. It's a much harder A sound. Wank.
Wank.
Gotta
get that mouth open.
So I've got a question for the guy in the UK.
Yeah.
The wanker.
The wanker. So speaking of cult movies, would you consider the two Doctor Who movies that is really Grand Moff Tarkin in disguise as cult movies?
Do you know what? I've never been the greatest Doctor Who fan, but I've got quite a few friends who are really, really into it. And nobody really has a great deal of love for the movies. It's much more the love for the TV series than the films.
Thank you. As a Whovian, I'm really happy to hear you say that.
Excellent. I'm pleased about that. There is only one Doctor, and that was Tom Baker.
I actually got my start with Eccleston, really, but I discovered Doctor Who from my love of Rocky Horror, because Patricia Quinn, who plays Magenta, was in a couple Peter Davison episodes.
And I I was really pleased to hear everyone talking about Rocky Horror tonight. I love Rocky Horror. I've been to Piccadilly Theatre in drag to watch it. That was a scary sight. If you've ever seen a 6'8" man in fishnets sprinting through the streets of London.
Oh, you do it all the time.
I do, actually. Yeah.
Not in London.
Yeah, not in London, though.
Not in London.
It's a little too far.
When I come to London, I'll let you know.
Let's do it. We'll hook up and we'll have a fishnet community moment.
Careful,
Totally
we're
okay.
doing something different now.
My dream is to actually go to the castle, which is now a hotel that's literally based in the UK.
Isn't that where you used to work, Kevin? The castle?
No, I used to work in a castle, not that castle.
Oh.
That would have been beyond cool, but no.
Yeah.
Ed,
How's everyone doing then? Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, no problem, bro. No problem.
Birthdays.
Birthdays. May 24th, 1941, rocker Bob Dylan. May 25th, 1939, actor Ian McKellen. And somebody just mentioned Peter Cushing. I actually had him up here and took him out, but his birthday is the 26th. May 26th, 1907, the Duke, John Wayne. May 26th, 1926, jazz great Miles Davis. And a lot of musicians on the 26th, apparently. Also on the 26th, Lenny Kravitz, Hank William Jr., and Lauryn Hill. And I got a couple I want to mention from last week, too.
Go right ahead.
May 14th, 1941, George Lucas. And May 16th, 1966, Miss Jackson herself, if you're nasty, singer Janet Jackson. Personal birthday shout-outs. A big personal birthday shout-out. He's not here. I don't know why the fuck he isn't here, but his birthday was on Saturday. Navy Dad. I know him as Bob. I know he makes us do a face palm a lot on the show, but I got to tell you something about this guy. If you ever get in his inner circle, you are in. He will be there for you until the end. He's a really great guy. So toast to Bob.
Here's to Bob.
To Bob.
Oh, no, cheers to Bob.
Cannoli.
that was beautiful.
Well timed rim shot.
Anybody else have anybody else they want to wish happy birthday from this week? Or for our guests a little further out if you like. Kevin?
I know we had
So.
Well, my daughter's birthday is in like a week, so.
Oh, yeah.
Give a shout out?
Yeah. So happy birthday to Ashton, my daughter. She'll be 13.
Probably won't watch the show then.
I don't know. My daughter is pretty eclectic, so she might watch the show. So
parental guidance suggested.
Yeah, exactly.
We're kind of here.
Yesterday was a fellow cast member, Vagabond John's. It was his birthday yesterday.
Nice, happy birthday.
He was our Wadsworth. He was our Wadsworth for this last clip.
He's our Wadsworth and one of our Brads. Yep.
Very good. Andrew, did you have somebody?
Oh, no, sorry. I was fixing my monitor.
Kevin?
Yeah, I've got one. Coming up on this Friday, the 25th, I'd like to wish happy birthday to the person I love more than anything else in the entire world. Myself.
There we go. Happy birthday, Kevin. Happy birthday to Kevin. Are we doing a birthday broadcast for you this weekend?
You can do one if you like. I will be shit-faced.
Oh, definitely. We need you to
that
log
was one
in
of your
for a
better
little while.
shows.
Been there, done that.
Maybe I should call Sarah up. Hey, come around and get shit-faced.
Yes.
Serious, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, so with you being in the UK, is your birthday actually tomorrow or yesterday? Or
Today's the 20th.
Next year.
It's on Friday. Strictly speaking, I'm theoretically like a day ahead of you guys because it's still Monday night for you, isn't it? Whereas it's now, what the fuck is it?
It's
2:21.
Thursday there.
it's winter. It's summer here. It's winter over there.
See, when we tell you. Let me put that right there.
That's for you, Switch.
And anybody who would like a Talk of the Tavern patch.
You just can PayPal
Travis,
me
tell them how they can give
$5
it.
with your address in the comments. Make sure you send it as friends and family because I am not doing a service for you. You're my friend, and I'm gifting you something. So you could do that at travisisivart@gmail.com is my PayPal. Send it over. I'll send you a patch. Don't forget, we have our trivia question going. Let me scroll back up. Who was the first female governor in the U.S. and what state did she become governor of? You do have to be a subscriber to enter the contest. So I don't think anybody cares, and we're not giving away a coin. Damn you all. I have birthdays. Marco Inello, who is a great guy, does steampunk opera and all kinds of great stuff. One of our old co-hosts, Daniel Apt. And then some folks I know.
Hey.
Carrie Ann Versace, Jody Whitehead, Nico7, John Winsley of the steampunk community, Bill Fisher, Kenneth Toglio, Dieter Zimmerman, probably Dieter.
Hey, Kennedy.
Kennedy, good to see you, buddy. Joey Lynn Monaco, Crystal Bremen, Shirley Donahue, who I actually beta tested World of Warcraft with her husband. And Benjamin Konofal and Chris Heareth. Happy birthday. What do you got there, guys? What are you moaning about?
So someone just posted in the comments, so we would like to say hi to Brad's pants.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's raise one up for Brad's pants.
She's part of the cast.
Yeah, whatever.
Gotcha. Okay, let's close that. So, okay. How Kennedy say? How is that Kenneth's last name spelled? Give me a second. Let me go find Toglia. Toglia. There you go, Kennedy. Let us know what you think about that. Hey, good to see you. Now, Kennedy is such a devout friend and follower that Kennedy went to a convention this weekend and was like messaging as we were on air from the convention. We wouldn't hear back from him.
Kennedy knows him.
I see. It's all part of that steampunk community thing, isn't it? Excuse me.
Kennedy's such a loyal listener. He tuned in last night and listened to me and Travis talk absolute shit to each other for a couple of hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was
entertaining shit, but still shit.
Yeah, well, we had the Pube guy.
The Pube guy was fun, yeah.
And by the way, where's Lord Lazarus out of the UK? Lord Lazarus said they were coming back, but apparently, big fat liar. Probably.
Because it's Thursday there. Just so everybody knows, in June, I'm going to start broadcasting on my channel. Not quite sure yet. So we're just going to say boobs and cigars. So go ahead and follow my channel,
time?
Night Owl Creations BA. I'll let you know it.
So there we go.
So go ahead and subscribe to or not subscribe, or you can, but follow my channel.
Yeah, I just put the link up there, guys. You can click on that, make sure you're following. That way when Andrea goes on air, it's all available. Did we cover everything? We got anything more? We did dead people, we did birthday people, we did history. Okay, I think we're good then. I want to remind anybody, if you are already a subscriber, Boob Punk, yes, John, I think that needs to be a big thing, or a small thing. I'd give it an A or a D.
In my case.
Doesn't matter. I think just any boob punk, no matter how you rate it, is good punk. Steam nipple. That's horribly painful. I've only had that 3 times in my life, and I don't want it again. There we go. First female. There we go. We got a subscriber here. First female governor was Nellie Taylor Ross of Wyoming. So keep in mind, if you are already a subscriber, you can enter. You don't have to do anything else. And I am also entering Kennedy in this week because last week he did $5 on Patreon as opposed to subscribing. So
and that's okay too if you are a Patreon supporter.
So there we go. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'll let you guys have a little more time to answer that and everything. And I'll give you the really big clue here. I didn't say you have to get it right. I just said you have to answer. What do you have, Andrea? What's that?
Oh no, because Bob's answer that one. It's all a roll of the dice.
Okay. So, shall we go on back with our topic?
Yeah, there was actually a comment that was, I think, before the last break from Toei. Is that correct?
About Rock and Roll High School with the Ramones?
Yeah, Rock and Roll High School with the Ramones. I love that movie.
I tell you,
that is a great.
Female was adorable.
Great soundtrack.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's the Ramones, so like you couldn't really go wrong. Have you two seen that? No. Ow! I don't know who the Ramones are.
I know who the Ramones are. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Where's Bob? He needed to see that.
What, the nipple or the Ramones?
Clip it. Somebody hit the clip
Our
button.
picture.
Were you not looking at the screen? Did you miss it?
No, you missed it.
I think I missed it.
Okay. Not as funny as Sector, but we'll do it again. Elizabeth?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, before the thing.
Okay. Ways and nipples and peanuts.
Take it off.
Sorry.
So, there's a portrait of Kevin. We lost 3 viewers thanks to that.
Do we really?
Well, the numbers went down. Remember, the numbers aren't terribly accurate. There you go. That's the right response, Elizabeth.
That usually happens at the end of our shows anyway, so.
That usually gives us more viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind, we are an adult show, and if you're surprised by that, then you didn't read any of the goddamn disclaimers.
So, fuck you.
Yeah, right. I guess.
More love for This Is Fine Without. Right there.
Got more love of that. And part 2, what was part 2 called?
The Return of Spinal Tap?
There you go. It goes to 11. Now, here's a spoiler for Deadpool. Not really a spoiler. Did you see the gun went up to 11?
Yes.
I noticed that because I leaned over to Andrea. I'm like, I wonder if it goes to 11. Then they showed it again. I'm like, it does.
Yeah. Total Spinal Tap moment right there.
Yeah. And not really a spoiler there, but just something to watch for. One of those Easter eggs in there that you can enjoy picking out.
Have you seen the? Have you seen the movie yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Ed, we saw it because Ed gave Andrea a movie card, a movie gift card.
Friday. So we went Friday.
Yeah. So you see where our priorities are, and the reason we want to wait on Infinity War, we want to watch it at home so we can pause it and comment.
Wow.
I have to have commentary. You can't. People don't like that in the theater.
We've noticed that.
Hey, Des, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for
What's up, Des?
It's we got to go to a black theater if you want to make commentary during the movie.
Or the drive-in. That's why I like the drive-in.
Yeah, if you guys haven't been to Goochland Drive-In, it's about as long of a drive for you guys as it is for us. But 2 movies, double feature, $8.
I can't believe it's called Goochland.
I snigger every time he says it.
Yeah.
But what is Gooch slang for?
We are doing an event.
Gooch is actually the name of a former British governor of Virginia. That's where the name came from.
It's also another name for your taint.
It's not the first thing I think of, Ed.
He was English.
We are doing an event for a meetup at the drive-in theater in July, Travis.
Well, we're going to have to change that date. It was in June, and Ed wants to go camping that weekend, so we have to decide camping or drive-in theater.
Camp at the drive-in theater.
You guys don't mind if we set up a tent, right?
All I'm saying is the drive-in theater is the perfect place to pitch a tent.
One time, I went to a couple of times. I went to a drive-in theater by myself because and when I would park, I'd get in, pay, and then park, and I'd eat and drink a couple sodas. As soon as I'd park, people would start yelling, "Let him out of the trunk!"
See, and that's why she bought her first inflatable date.
that wasn't my first.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He just comes out of the trunk looking all surprised.
And there's
what?
There's one in Christiansburg.
there's
Closer to us.
a drive-in in Christiansburg, and there's also one in Lynchburg.
Nice. I'm glad to hear there's more than one out there. It's we love.
Oh wait. No, not Lynchburg. I'm sorry, Lexington.
Oh, what Kennedy say? Go to the movies at the same time as friends in other states. We talk on the phone about it. That's great. The first time we went to see Avengers, it was in a regular theater, and like the guy in the row in front of me during one of the quiet scenes with Nick Fury on screen, his phone rings and he picks it up. So you got this bright light in like the third row from the front, and he's like, "Hello?" And I'm like, "Really, dude?" Nice and loud. And he's like,
Then he got up and left.
yeah, he gets up and leaves. I'm like, there you go.
You know what still gets me is that people leave during the credits during Marvel movies.
Yeah.
They don't know any better.
What's that all about?
Noobs.
No, right?
You know what gets me? Somebody brought their toddler to see Sausage Party.
What?
Yeah, it was like a
The whole time. It was kind of funny and disturbing.
Yeah, during the scene where they're chopping up things in the kitchen, the kids start screaming and crying. And Andrew and I were so torn between aw and, oh God, that's hilarious. The kid is screaming because they're killing everything. We're horrible. I could have been Kennedy. You were calling him. That was you on the other end. You watching Avengers? Hold on. Somebody behind me said, really? Okay, so...
You know...
Yes, Andrea?
I was going to say, I have lists about movies to see who's seen what and who likes what.
Well, I tell you
Let's
what,
hear your list.
Let's give Kevin a chance here real quick to catch up or say something. We talked about that, move on, and then we'll hit your list. Cool?
Sure.
Yeah, carry on. Honestly.
Kevin's
I'm
packing
good.
up. Go down your list.
Well, Kevin's like 12 hours ahead, so...
He is. He's already heard
Yeah,
the show.
I heard you guys hours ago.
He's already seen all of them, you know.
He
don't
knows what's
care.
happening.
Yeah, he does.
We really should have listed the lottery numbers for him, but fuck Kevin.
As long as we have patches on and it's not sexual, we're okay.
Well,
I just put it over the third nipple.
I getting off topic. I was wondering how you could get away with being naked and not being sexual. And of course, I immediately thought, well, humor, or if you were angry.
Angry nudity happens all the time.
Gross.
I do it at least once a week.
Angry nudity?
Wait, so now we're back to the John Waters films.
There we go.
yes.
Lust in the dust.
Yes.
Anybody who doesn't understand how you can be naked without it looking at all sexual has never seen me naked.
As long as you're not eating dog shit, you're good.
Present.
Because that's sexual all of a sudden.
Who has a dog?
You can either eat dog shit and not be sexual, or eat it naked and suddenly it's sexual.
I'm just not even
Here's
sure.
Fido.
Wait a minute.
Fido.
This isn't dog shit. This is my wife's shit.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of cult movies, what about the Pink Panther movies?
Wait, the one with Steve Martin?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I was very confused. I was like,
Before the cartoon.
Peter Sellers.
Peter Sellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go look him up, guys. Enjoy. You're
God, I
welcome.
suddenly felt old.
Yeah.
They are the youngins on the show.
Earlier, when Andrea mentioned that, we're older than you guys, and B was kind enough to going, oh, maybe me, but not them. No, I think we have a decade on average more than you guys.
At least.
Nope, not the Steve Martin ones. Before the cartoon, right? Before the cartoon, right?
You know what? I don't know Peter Sellers' release date versus a cartoon, because cartoon was 70s and so was Peter Sellers. Now, Peter Sellers played...
also was in the 60s.
If my memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure they're around the same time because I'm sure the beginning and end credits of the Peter Sellers movies feature the animated Pink Panther.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Real quick, Ray Dawn, thanks for joining us. Here's to you. Welcome to the tavern.
Here, here.
There we go.
That's
And cool name.
drink, isn't it?
Yeah, the reason to drink. There you go. That's why we like
Can I point out to the British guy that I'm drinking from a Tubbs glass?
There you go. And what are you drinking from, Kevin? What kind of glass do you have? Is that like a...
I have my Toffee Crisp mug.
That's British.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the original Pink Panther movies. By the way, somebody earlier mentioned Young Frankenstein as a cult.
That's Frankenstein.
We're heads up. We're actually looking at that for a possible show.
I like it. I watch that.
Werewolf?
Thank you,
Werewolf?
Kennedy.
Quotable, I love it.
Where?
Kennedy is quoting Peter Sellers. Does your dog bite? No. It gets bitten. But you said your dog does not bite. That is not my dog. Classic.
Can I just say that was yet another shining example of your talent for accents, Travis?
You're welcome.
I remember seeing, it was a repeat, but I was in my PJs on top of our station wagon in Colorado Springs watching that one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Eating Tootsie Rolls.
That's what they call it, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was.
So you date black men?
I said Tootsie Rolls, not Baby Ruth.
Toblerone?
Oh God, we saw.
That's what I said.
This movie. What is it called? The week before? It's on Netflix.
The new Adam Sandler Chris Rock movie that's a Netflix production.
Yeah, it's called The Week Before. It's Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. Their kids are getting married, and it's the week before. Speaking of Toblerone, there is one that is like as big as a car.
They've got like a 6-foot Toblerone, and Steve Buscemi is eating off of it throughout the whole movie.
It's worth it just for that.
He's also got the 4-foot tall bottle of liquor.
Like, where do you get that?
For the classy wedding.
Wait, is this an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah. Just came out on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yeah, okay. Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler is like in every movie.
I know.
But
Toblerone make a 4.5 kilo bar.
How long is that?
I don't know what size on it. Let me see if I can work out the dimensions.
Start telling people my penis size in kilos.
11%.
No, remember earlier that was Ed.
Ed was 11%.
11%.
Mel Brooks is a cult classic. Agreed, and really anything. History of the world.
Yes, that's my favorite ever. I love it.
Spaceballs.
Monty Python. Holy crap.
No, that was Monty Python. Monty Python was Monty Python.
Monty Python.
Oh, I like Monty Python.
No, but
look what he's got.
Yay!
He's got a postcard from the U.S.
Oh,
it's Spaceballs. I'm like, Kevin needs this.
Andrea sent that to him.
Have you ever seen Spaceballs the cartoon though?
No.
I've seen Spaceballs the coffee pot.
Soda Crispy!
I do have a bumper sticker on the back of my car that says "I love Uranus."
It does.
I do.
It came with the movies. We have all these.
I go to I went to a car, boat, and plane show as a reporter, and I was standing, like 5 cars away from my car doing something on my phone, and I look up, watching people walk past the back of my car, and there's like a 70-year-old man and his wife, and they stop and point and snicker and start walking again. I'm like, yeah.
It's great.
The producers.
Oh, the producers. I know that movie.
Remember that part where they're searching, they're combing the desert for the droids? We found nothing.
We found shit.
We found shit. It's not a big pick.
By the way, Grey Dawn says it's only a few inches as wide as a Pringles can. Roughhead says producer coming back. Which version? Because I like the Matthew Broderick Nathan Lane version better.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen the other one.
I'm agreeing with you.
I highly disagree, and I'd be willing to argue for 3 hours over this. I think Matthew Broderick is a sham of an actor, and he should be flogged publicly. And the only reason why that movie held any goodness is because of Nathan Lane. He dragged that movie through the
Okay.
I will
Let's
agree with
bring
you.
Matthew Broderick on the show so he can defend that.
Let's do
I will agree with you on one point. So Godzilla is Ferris Bueller's Other Day Off.
that. What?
The 2000 or so release of Godzilla is
Is
Ferris
Ferris Bueller's Other Day Off.
Godzilla.
Thank you, Grouchy. Appreciate that cheer there.
This is the link, but okay, I'll take it.
Look at me segue. Look at me go.
I mean, Gene Wilder. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Wilder.
May I point out something? So Ian Mask?
Ian. Just call me Ian.
Okay, so he said the word charade.
Or charade.
So to me, I'm thinking Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh, movie 43.
Yeah, so that would be another cult classic.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely. And have you seen
Movie
movie 43?
Is it movie 43?
Yeah.
Not seen movie 43, but I'm a total fan of Kentucky Fried Movie though.
Go grab.
Then you'll like this one.
But Amazon Woman from Mars is the sequel, right?
No, I think that was just another movie with that same type of humor. And actually, Arsenio Hall Has a Bad Day was a great skit in that one. The one where he does like everything in his apartment. He's like walking into shit and falls face first into the waffle iron or whatever. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Arsenio.
We need to watch this movie.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I want to write. I want to own those movies because there's times I just want crap shit humor, and those are jewels in the crap shit.
And we
crown of
can't
humor.
always have the show, so he needs a movie.
What about
I'm not ready to chance film with 11.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes
Oh,
yes.
Killer Clowns.
from Outer Space?
Plan 9. Yeah. So I want to give a special shout out, if I may, to John Johnson, who's a local Virginia resident who lives in Charlottesville, who remade Plan 9 from Outer Space, and his feature is
Angela
called
Pritchett's in it.
Angela Pritchett is definitely in that. His Plan 9 is like what that movie should have been if it had the budget and the technology.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. And he also did Seventh Guest, which is based on the old computer game.
I remember the computer game. I played it.
Yeah. So, but we actually did
Girls Club, yeah.
some of the extras in some of John's films. So I'm in Seventh Guest, and there's a movie called Rifters that we're all in as well.
I'll have to check them out too. I need copies so I can review them.
Yeah.
By the way, Country Girl there says, yes, Attack of Killer Tomatoes and The Blob. There is a version of The Blob out there where somebody took the original movie and put a cartoon mouth on the Blob and dubbed in dialogue.
Oh, I want that now. I want that now.
It is fucking hilarious. Just the Blob is like, why the hell y'all running? What's wrong with you? It's moronic and fun and...
The Birds.
Oh my God, the birds!
So I want to hear more. I want to hear more of the list. I'm actually intrigued. I want to know more of the list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bubba Hotep, amazing movie.
Karate Kid.
So, Steve versus Elvis.
The remake.
That's all you need.
You know, Fantasia was a flop, and I think that's a cult
I
classic.
love that movie.
Good.
Really? Fantasia?
Mm-hmm. It was too far ahead of its time. People went like, "What the hell is this?" And they walked out. And they couldn't get it.
Well, it's kind of back to the original. You brought up Shock Treatment like way back in the first hour, and Shock Treatment was way ahead of its time because that was Big Brother before Big Brother ever existed.
Big Brother's always existed.
1984 was written in 48.
Yeah, but like reality TV shows didn't really exist back in 1981, and Shock Treatment came out in 1981. It was all about reality TV shows.
True. Andrew, what's on your list?
Well, I'm looking at this and some of the ones that are coming back now with the newer generations, like Lost Boys, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, I love Big Trouble.
Awesome movie.
And they're remaking it with The Rock.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong on this, but I think Lost Boys in the vampire lore, wasn't the Lost Boys the first one to establish that they had to be invited in?
No.
I think so. I don't know.
No, that's
I'm not
lore.
I'm not sure, but
Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay, I always feel like it's the Lost Boys for some reason.
Yeah, it's definitely Dracula.
Might have been the first one you saw where they did it, though, and that's why it's in your head like that.
Yeah.
By the way, Kevin, you were going to say something like, I don't know, 3 hours ago, your time.
It's just when someone brought up Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I was going to ask if everybody was aware that it was George Clooney's first ever movie.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, no.
Wow.
As well, Handley, as the man normally nominated to throw out links while everyone else is concentrating, I just happened to have the clip with him in, so I'll throw the link in the clip.
So I remember him from Red Surf, which was another of the Gene Simmons 80s movies.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. I might have seen it, on Cinemax at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's about right. That sounds about right.
So, what else you got, Andrew?
Another one that I found coming in cosplay at cons I'm going to, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, I
love that movie. Love that movie.
See, all these are coming back, because that's from the 90s. Of course, Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Did it ever really leave, though?
Which is a huge...
Like, did it ever really leave? Like, did the Goonies not be a thing?
Well, the Goonies become a thing again in Deadpool 2.
And they're talking about doing a part 2 of it also.
Really?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Not a reboot, a part 2.
Two of the original cast of the Goonies are at Island Con here on the Isle of Wight next year.
Nice.
Wow.
So another one that kind of throws out to all that, a movie that was back then and then now it's coming back, The Crow.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are
with Jason Momoa as the Crow in the remake, and I'm like, I like Jason.
We'll see.
But
I'll explain a little bit because I am a comic nerd. So
yeah, but considering what happened to Brandon Lee, though.
Well, I'll explain that too. So, and I won't be very long about it, but mainly what happened is, yes, Jason Momoa is going to be the Crow. He did ask permission to be the Crow. He did ask the Lee family, which is a very respectful thing. The other thing, too, is that he does kind of have the physique. If you do read the actual comics that James O'Barr actually wrote, he is kind of a muscular kind of guy.
He's really
So, I mean, yeah, he could pull it off. Am I excited about it? Yes. Am I going to be, am I going to like it? I don't know until I watch it, so we'll see.
I'm going to like it no matter what.
It can't rain all the time.
Hi, Candy.
It can't
rain.
Yeah, because he is pretty.
And by the way, Kennedy, see now, unpopular opinion, I didn't really think Bubba Hotep was all that good. But Hap and Leonard, I'll give it a watch and see what I think about that. Because Kennedy says his brother knows Bubba Hotep, Ryder, Lansdale pretty well. And
yeah, well, John was just at Sitcom too, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I just don't see what everybody thought it was great. So.
It's versus zombies. It's what do you need?
Thanks, Des.
Office Space is another one.
Yes. There's a cult.
Yes.
And now I'm jumping into the chair because he's going to do something.
And Leonard, sorry from that. Morning Star, you don't have to cut yourself short. You haven't talked much. You got like credit for talking.
Oh, no, it's cool, man. No, I was just like he was talking, and I didn't want to. I'm not interrupting type of guy.
So what's some of your favorite cult classics?
By the way,
something you're coming into and finding.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm more of the horror type, so I like The Reanimator. I like that movie.
That was a good movie.
Hobo with a Shotgun. I love that. So I mean, there's a lot of like we mentioned earlier, B-rated horror movies. But I do like to introduce them into my friends' lives because it's like, hey, I watched this and I did it in one day and I loved it so much, so I'm going to introduce it to you. It's go ahead.
Have you seen Zombievers?
No, but I was just talking to her. I know it's on Netflix. I've seen it. We will watch it. We actually, speaking of one of our friends, Andy Dean, which you did interview at Mystica.
Yeah. He was a great interview.
He's like my horror movie genre guy. I can call him or see him in Charlottesville and say, hey, what's a good horror movie that I can watch? And he will tell me. So
tell him and Tony I'd love them on for a full Tuesday episode, which is our music episode. So
I will definitely
kick him in the ass and tell him to get on.
I'll do it. I will do it. Yeah, we just saw him when we did our show in Charlottesville. We actually saw Andy before we did the show.
Andy.
Oh, that's Bellamorte, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And the way they work a crowd, incredible on stage. They control that crowd like a fucking puppet master. Pulling the string.
Like a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually, we actually ate lunch with Angel Metro also, which she was at the.
She was the DJ.
She was the DJ of the music show. So, and she's really, really big into the occult movies and stuff like that. So it's definitely, if you had them three on there, you guys, it'd be a great show.
Kick them in the toot because I know they get busy, and I've invited them, but there was no reply, which could mean fuck that, I'm not going on that show, or it might mean we're busy and we just don't have time to get back to you right now. So either one, if it comes from you, then they can say what they feel and not have to worry about hurting my feelings.
I know that he's been quite busy. I know he's been doing not only Bellamorte, but he's doing the Reign Within stuff too. So he's been kind of busy. But yeah, I will definitely, and I know that Wednesday we'll definitely reach out to him and let him know.
John says Empire of the Sun. What? Anybody? I remember the movie from the 80s. Not the Eddie Murphy movie, The Golden Child, but the other one that came out at the same time that was a little different.
I don't know that one.
It's a very serious movie. Kennedy, I assume. Travis, yeah.
Well, whatever. On the list, when I was looking for lists, here's one I didn't really think about: Thelma and Louise.
Oh, that's
really? Wow, yeah.
Good movie. But that one,
I just need headphones.
The critics liked that one though. That one was a success.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think that was much of a cult classic.
Boys on the Side was another great movie that you just don't hear
about
anymore.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was in that, wasn't she?
And Drew Barrymore, yeah.
I remember that.
See, totally liked Empire of the Sun. And Lady Skipper says, I'm going to put out their Delicate Art of the Rifle. And Skipper played the part of Jamin Skipper. I'll have to look that up.
So Office Space. I see the comment about Office Space. So I was just in a previous conversation like earlier today about that. So did you know that Office Space came from an animated short originally?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So Mike Judge, who obviously created Beavis and Butthead, so that came from an animated short. Do you remember the old MTV show Liquid Television?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's where Beavis and Butthead got their start.
Correct.
That's also where Office Space got its start as well. Yeah, there's a whole animated story about Milton and a stapler, and we're going to need you to work on Saturday, and that whole thing. That's where that all started.
That happens. It just happened recently. There's one I just saw the trailer called Cargo. Zombie movie, father carrying his daughter on his back, and he bit. That was a short. No. Is he in it? It's the guy who plays Watson with Sherlock. Yeah.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, that one was a short, and then there was another one. They got into the horror genre, and they did a bunch of shorts. So that's becoming more and more frequent now for you to do a short and then get funding. And in fact, if you didn't know, Evil Dead was Sam Raimi's student film.
It was.
And then they gave him a budget, and then he made Evil Dead 2. So, ooh.
Cannibal the Musical was like a project from the guys that did South Park.
Yes. That's how. Right, which you can actually see a lot of South Park in that movie.
Oh yeah, because that came out before that. Yeah.
Right.
I gotta write that down. Oh, we're at 5 minutes.
We are. Real quick.
Yeah,
Roughhead,
I'm empty.
Roughhead asks, any chance that Talk of the Tavern could put up a list of their guests on Facebook or the emails? It is in the newsletter. All the way to the bottom, it lists all the future shows. It will feature this week's guests at the top, future guests down at the bottom. Unless you mean guests in the past, then no, because I have had hundreds of guests. And I just encourage you to check out the archives.
We've been doing this, 5 years now?
Yeah. Yes, Eric's?
May I give a shout out to a past guest?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So you had Angela Pritchett on last Tuesday?
Correct.
Yeah.
Amazing woman. And amazing ukulele player. And definitely subscribe to her newsletter, her YouTube channel.
I don't have her.
It is Angela Plays Ukulele.
Yes.
I subscribe, I know.
I am too, actually. I'm a really close friend of hers. And so I just wanted to say that so it's kind of a double entendre. One, we watch your show and we know who's your guest. But two, that guest is a particular friend of ours.
Yeah, and we will probably have her back on at some point in time because she's so diverse. There's always a topic.
Oh, God, yeah.
Always a topic. And Kennedy, there's the link to the newsletter. It's once a week. You're going to get it every week, generally Monday afternoon. Also, if you forget to click on the link right now, it is in the automatic postings you see from whatever it is that automatically posts for me, the Stream Elements. It'll pop up every 40, 50 minutes, something like that. So, now, I want to thank our guests for being on. Charming Underclothes with Morning Star Wednesday morning and Tyrannix. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, do you want
I posted the link to their website in the chat, and you can follow them on Instagram and Twitter with the same name.
And Facebook. Also
and Facebook.
With the same name.
And your next gig is in, what do you say, August?
Officially, it's going to be in August. We got a couple of shows that are still pending, but as of right now, I can definitely tell you that on the 25th, we will be in Lynchburg performing Clue.
Very good. 25th of?
August.
There we go. Yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. And here's to you. So
here's to you.
And we'll be hanging out every time we have a chance in person, too. And we'll bring you back as things go on. So.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I guess we'll see you at conventions, too, hopefully.
Absolutely. That's a live where we get to actually hang out for 30 seconds before we run off to do the 50 things we have.
Right, exactly.
Have a great night, guys.
You too. Thank you so much.
Zombie picker.
Yeah, and to the British guy, we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you last week.
There we go. And we're going to go into our refill break here. You guys hang out. We'll be back in just a couple minutes once I find the thing to click. Okay, here we go.
Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previous.
Just so all our viewers know, we do have another hour of the show. Don't
This
leave
is Gail
yet.
Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenching the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fae magazine, and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Uther in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of TeslaCon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bizarre here, Lord Monty right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes.
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day steampunk festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tunesday, Middle-Aged Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpikar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Velo from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Gin, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is opera singer Katie Cat.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the Mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola, Radio Escuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy.
We are Warren and Betsy Talbot.
Thanks for joining us for the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning. Time for the roll call for our late night, inappropriate, slightly intoxicated, and very naughty music hour. This is where the faint of heart swoon, parents put children to bed, and things heat up and get steamy. So pour another drink and strap yourself in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
What great guess, huh, guys?
Yeah,
they were fun.
Sorry, I was muted.
Kevin, I feel like you really should go
muted.
back like you were. I was going to introduce our mystery rapper guest, KZ. He's just a little KZ. Anyhow. Oh. Hey, tell us about
I
lighting
saw your bottle opener there, Elizabeth.
There we go.
Oh, nice! Cheers! This is one of my favorite beers. It's Hofbrau, the original.
And we have Eminem joining us down there.
Brewed with Purity Law. Yeah, Kev.
Do they still make the Oktoberfest brew?
They do.
Oh.
It's just out of season right now, but
I
yeah.
had good drunks off of that when I was 18.
Oh, you know, you can get pony kegs of it. Mm-hmm.
Good to hear, Kennedy. Kennedy knows a few of our former guests, and that's just a small sampling of them. I am now collecting videos from folks as they do, you know, you're going to get toasted on Talk of the Tavern, and going to do other refill breaks. I'm just waiting to get enough to make a full What, Andrea? What? Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
two
Make
things.
the announcement.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim.
Is
Hi,
Kim-
Kim. Hi, Kim. She's gonna watch it later on YouTube. She's
Okay.
my pen pal.
Yes.
Hi, Kim.
We did a video sample of our guests all toasting, so that'll be in a future refill break. So, yeah.
Okay, everybody.
See, I've introduced
Big
Andrea
announcement.
to a few of my friends who I would hope she would make friends with, and she has, and they do get along fabulously, which I'm so happy about because I like these people. So, there we go. Okay, your announcement, Andrea. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
June 13th, Brad Williams. He's going to be on our show. I'm so excited. I'm a big fan. If you don't know who he is, Google him. He is an actor, comedian, podcast person. Just awesome. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, stand-up comic, has his own podcast, and he's had people such as Dana Carvey and Melissa McCarthy appear on his podcast. But besides that, he's just fucking awesome. He's great comedic talent, and
If you have Pandora and you listen to the comedy channel, which I have the Jim Gaffigan channel, he comes up a lot on there. One of my favorites.
Ed, I just posted a picture for you.
Oh.
we bought it for Thanksgiving, and my friend picked me up at the airport. I mean, it didn't even last that night. We drank it dry. It was so good.
Yum.
Nice. It's here for everybody viewing elsewhere. I'll show you. Let the glare go down here.
I didn't know him. I think I know him, Andrea. I'm not sure. I'm going to go to the comedy channel, though, and check him out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, once you hear him, you'll know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you're excited about it, he's got to be good, because you have good taste. So.
I'm so excited. Okay, because I follow him on Twitter and stuff. And you know the royal wedding. Of course, Kevin knows this, right? You were there.
Yeah, obviously. We were all invited.
Yeah. I thought I saw you there. Right behind George Clooney, weren't you? Yeah.
Yes, that was actually me that was mistaken for David Beckham in that picture that was doing the rounds. So David didn't make it. I stepped in for him.
Oh my God. Oh, what happened at work, Kevin?
Shit caught fire, y'all. One of my chefs, who's an absolute fucking bellend, dropped the oil out of the fryer at the end of the night without letting the fryer cool down first, and all the residual oil on the elements caught fire, and the whole fryer exploded into flame and set fire to the kitchen.
Cool.
And he, instead of dealing with the fire, just came out to the front and got me and went, there's a fire. Well, why the fuck are you here telling me about it instead of in there putting it out, you dickhead?
We have an American wanting to have an explanation of the term bell end.
Okay, the bulbous glands at the end of a male penis, as opposed to a female penis. I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
No, it's fair to.
Well, you know.
Go on.
Yeah, whatever the PC.
I just want to know.
Victoria's here.
Did you take a video
No.
of while it's flaming, saying "I'm going to get toasted" at Talk at the Tavern?
Do you know what? Strangely enough, I was concerned at the time with not allowing the business that employs me or any of my guests to burn to death. But next time, I'll have to think a bit clearer. Opportunity missed there.
I just pictured that.
No, I mean, luckily or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, it's not the first fire I've encountered in my life, so I put it out. But
and what was her name?
And why'd you put her out?
We know you're a fire eater, but damn.
Because he was done with her.
What a man's got to do, Travis. Bitches be tripping anyway.
Especially on a greasy, burning kitchen floor.
Yeah. Yeah, so rather annoying. Despite the fact that my business is still standing, it now means that we're down a fryer because the thing was too badly damaged to be used. So.
By the way, Victoria.
But I'm off tomorrow, so fuck it.
Victoria.
But that's why I wasn't on at the start of the show. I have to file a huge instant report and all kinds of paperwork with head office where we belong to a chain. So.
Roughhead says, no matter how much I watch BBC, Python, and hang out with Brits, I learn a new slang every once in a while. Yeah, you do. By the way, Victoria, where's your promo? Give me that background outside your window with you and your steampunk gear.
Victoria.
And this is, Victoria the Steampunk Countess, author of this and this. And I'm going to get toasted on Talk of the Tavern.
You know what, Kev? This is the third week in a row we've got fire in the drawing.
Becoming a bit of a theme.
Because we're hot.
I'll have to have a think that maybe, I can bring a new British slang word to every episode.
Very good. Very good. It's one's still in use, one's not out of use or not in use, whatever. It's and thank you to everybody who hung out. Let's do a roll call real quick. Give a shout out in the chat if you're still hanging out with us. And where is Von Hegner?
Hey.
What?
Travis.
And hello, Victoria.
Yes, Andrea.
You need to put a thing on there where people can redeem shots for a new British slang word.
Oh. There you go.
I could do that. It's and Courtroom is here. I don't know if you're watching Courtroom, but if you are, good to see you, buddy. Shouty McShout and Bob's your uncle. PM you a reminder.
No, Bob's not here today. Cannoli.
Bob's my black uncle. Apparently I had a black mark on my shoulder, and Andrew's like, hey, Travis, your black's coming out. Bob will be so jealous.
Yeah, he climbed up on the roof to clean the gutters today. I don't know what he got into.
There was a point, actually, for a few brief moments earlier before I cleaned up after the incident, I was actually blacker than Bob.
And by the way, I bit a bomb.
That doesn't take much.
If I could interrupt. I bit a bomb, one of our new subscribers from this past weekend, where we were randomly broadcasting, says, I feel you all could fill the cast of a remake of the movie Clue. Which characters would we be?
Oh, speaking of, and we will be promoting this later.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good segue. Talk of the Tavern will do an audio drama. Sometime, I'm thinking in the summer, so you can submit one scene for 4 characters and 1 narrator. You can include sound effects. You can submit your one scene script to talkofthetavern@gmail.com.
There you go, and I sent
That's just a quick. Okay, because it's going to be in the newsletter also. I made up a whole thing, so.
And Cernix is back.
Submission.
Welcome back.
Yay! Submissions will be due by the end of June.
So, which characters will we be in a remake of Clue?
Are you letting the viewers answer this?
No, us or the viewers. I don't care. There we go. No offense taken, buddy. I actually cosplayed the Monopoly guy. I bit a bomb says, no offense at all, bro, but you're my favorite Monopoly guy. Lookalike. I cosplayed that in January at MarsCon at Williamsburg. I had the bag of money, the get out of jail free cards, and
Steampunk Deadpool carried him to jail.
We have a photo with somebody holding up the go straight to jail card with the cop dragging the Monopoly guy, and I laid on the floor and recreated the scene with Steampunk Deadpool as they dragged me to jail. Yeah.
That's fun.
One of those random things, we're in the dealer room with a crowd. I'm like, quick, take the photo. And get a crowd around us as I'm laying on my back. The other morning when I was drunk, I called you Railroad Tycoon. I knew what you meant. It's all good. And I bit a bomb. Like I said to others, if you come in and you mock me, you make a few quips, I'm okay with it. As long as you can take them back and have a good time, that's what we're here for. We had one guy, Kevin and I were on, and somebody's like, your mustache looks like a stray pube. And I'm like, well, obviously, you just hit puberty, so pubes are big, and I'm kind of disturbed by the fact that you see my mustache and immediately think of your junk. And Kevin had a
Or maybe he's thinking of your junk.
There we go. Kevin, do you want to tell him what you said about it?
I can't even remember now. What did I say? I remember that basically the guy made a comment about a pube, and you and I turned it into a 5-minute conversation.
Kevin said something along the lines of, if pubes remind him of, or if your mustache reminds him of pubes, I'm terrified to think of what his crotch looks like.
Yeah, because he said it looked like a pube. I'm like, if one of his pubes looks like your moustache, what the hell does the rest of his gut look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we do need to do the giveaway. Yes, Andrea?
Well, Kennedy asks, he says, does Travis give away real world get out of jail free cards? Asking for a friend.
We can talk off air. No, we've only had 2 entries. Grouchy and Kennedy are the 2 entries at this moment. Does anybody else want to answer the trivia question? You have to be a subscriber to win. Purple.
Oh, I'm not a subscriber this month.
I think do have to. I think we have to say that we're not eligible to win. But the question.
Okay, because I don't want it.
The question was, what was the question? First female governor in the U.S. What state did she become governor of? And I'm not necessarily saying you have to
throw out a damn answer. We don't shit.
If you're a subscriber, like a bit of bomb and who else is a subscriber up here? Countess, etc. Feel free to throw an answer.
Come on, people. All you got to do is throw out an answer. Just throw out an answer. You're put in the drawing.
Country girl. You know, so there we go. We got a bunch of... I forget who else is. You guys know if you subscribed. You got the little blue crown next to your name.
Yeah, I don't have that right now.
I know Andrea accidentally subscribed to. See, that's why I'm not worried about the
somewhere else,
answer.
but it's all right.
Yeah, people could definitely Google it and come up with the correct answer. But then again, you could also say, Mickey Mouse of the state of insanity. I don't care.
You can't say it now because he already said it.
That's right.
Say something else.
Yeah, I don't give away the answer.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Well done, Kevin.
Thank you. Just don't tell her I said that.
No, I don't know that reference, Kennedy.
Oh my god.
Andrea, did you get it?
What? If Travis is a Monopoly man, my wife is community chest.
Oh, is that what you? Oh my god! Ed, do you want to tell them what's behind you? You're not out of the drawing. Okay.
Yeah. My wife is a canning fiend, so yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
There you go. There.
Your wife has some pretty impressive cans, Ed.
Yes, she does. You should have seen the photos I took at the beach that didn't make it to Facebook.
The answer, my friends.
Oh, yeah, and there's also whiskey.
I bid a bomb wants to come to your house in the apocalypse. No, we have a GPS location where we meet up. It won't be at its house. The house will be empty. Feel free to loot it with whatever's left.
This is true. He's not kidding. This is true.
I need to program that into my phone because I don't remember where the fuck it is now.
We got an upcoming show about that, don't we?
We have Sudden Wilderness Survival coming up in a few weeks. Or a month or two.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, there we go. No, Superman Jerry Seinfeld commercial. I don't remember it. It's I remember the commercials. I don't remember that particular mention though. So okay, well, I guess somebody else threw something else out, right? I think it was that was Elizabeth there. A lot of vagina.
No, that was Tall Sally.
My bad. So
I don't have my bag. Oh,
you don't have
dice.
You got your dice?
I have the one my friend Olivia got me in Vegas.
Is it a 6-sided? Good, that's what we need. Go ahead and roll it. 1 or 2 is grouchy. 3 through 6.
Well, let me just roll it.
Okay.
And then you.
Victoria's
is 4
as well.
4. Kennedy, private message me via Facebook, email, or right here your address, and we will send you the coin. You are the winner of the 1925 Indian Head Buffalo Nickel.
Yay!
Oh wait, Countess, you texted in at the last moment. It's Do you have a guess of who it is too, though?
Oops.
That was pretty cool last night as well. The guy who gave us the coins swung by and was watching the show last night, which was nice because it gave me a chance to thank him for sending me all these wonderful free magic cards.
He's on tonight.
He may still be
He's on tonight
watching.
as well. Awesome. Thanks again.
Hey to
I'm
John.
still happy about it.
It's
Yeah, if you have more for him, we'll send them. It's all good. Keep him
hell
happy.
yeah, he actually got them all. He was very thrilled.
Small bits of cardboard are enough to make a high point in my life.
A bit of bomb says we make middle age seem like fun. I guess that's a compliment. Okay. Cheers,
It is fun.
Cheers
What the
to
hell?
you.
It's absolutely. There we go. That's why we got middle-aged geekery for our Wednesday theme, and then we have guests.
My upcoming birthday will be my favourite one of my whole life.
It will be. Why?
Because it's the best number ever, because I will be 42.
There we go.
That's the answer to everything.
Exactly.
And this Wednesday, now tomorrow, just to pimp the upcoming shows, tomorrow we have Night Watch Paradox with Andy Hunt and Andrew Stainer on, and that's 1 to 4 East Coast time. Sean Durrington.
It's Tunesday.
Tuesday it is. So we'll be playing some of their tunes and chit-chatting with them for a couple hours. Sean Durrington joins us Wednesday. He's a fun artist, does all kinds of cool stuff. And then Thursday, for VIP, Virtual International Pub, we're talking about fairy culture with Karen Kay, who is the editor and publisher of Fae Magazine, and Tara Moeller, who's doing a fairy anthology for MarsCon, whose theme is fairies next year. So, and then next Monday we have the cringeworthy topic of consent culture versus call-out culture, towing the line. So there's our next week in shows. It's
If you're not offended yet, come back Monday.
Oh, we absolutely took it as a compliment. A bit of bomb. It's hard to offend us, and we know the difference usually. Oh, a dad joke. Look what I got here today. I happened to bring in this book that I wrote called 201 of the Worst Dad Jokes. You're welcome. So, I could just randomly open it. Is that a dad joke?
Yeah, it is.
That looks like what's his name from South Park.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was just thinking, it looks like me when I get free magic cards in the post.
And then when he gets
By the way, here's the dad joke. Did you hear about what? Oh,
it's okay.
Okay. Here I go. Did you hear about the clairvoyant midget on the run from the police? The news reported it as a small medium at large.
That's a good one.
Wow. Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Somebody panned your Peter.
Because he never lands.
Oh, there we go.
Because he what?
Because he never lands.
Ah, that's awesome.
Okay. Now
Stuck at the crack.
couple of responses here. A bit of bomb asked, may I ask, are you all affiliated some way other than socially? And are you all authors, internet, freelance types, etc.? I have known Ed for... Yes, Andrea?
I'm just like, a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I met Ed about 20 years ago now. We both worked at DMV. He was armed security. I was the guy shouting for people to get their pictures and doing road tests. Kevin and I met via Facebook/Twitter and started...
It was through Jody, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Who is...
a writer friend of ours, Jody Neil Ruth, yeah, a mutual friend of ours. That's how we met. About 6 years ago, I guess.
I believe so. I think it just came up on the Facebook date the other day. But Kevin and I did write a book together called Drowning Kittens for Fun and Profit, 100 of the Worst Money-Making Ideas. It's very pricey.
Still available on Amazon.
And Steampunk for Simpletons.
That's true.
Yeah.
You and me.
Now, Elizabeth, we have known casually acquainted via conventions until this year when
I've
we
known
hung
her
out.
forever.
Yeah. And Andrea and I are a couple. Couple of what? We don't know.
Couple of what? I don't know.
There we go. Yeah, Roughhead, get some
We
headphones.
met at a Ren fair.
We did. We did, through mutual friends. And there we go. So, we are all, most of us, freelance types of some sort or another. But it's hard to say professionally because, I guess professionals make money doing their stuff.
I will take money for whatever you want to pay me for.
Yeah, you will.
Do it like a pro. Okay. You might scare the fish away with giggling and snorting.
Yeah.
But without the headphones, we'll scare the fish away.
That's true.
They're delicate little snowflakes.
Fucking fish.
Tiny fillings.
Does anybody else remember? Yeah, exactly. Steampunk enthusiast, partially. And with steampunk, I can never do one thing. So, though a lot of this
We can do gin punk now.
You have a somewhat dad joke? Go ahead, a bit of bomb. We're listening. Type louder.
Well, we actually did the Ren thing.
That's
you and
true.
I did.
Yeah,
back
we did
in the
Ren
day.
fairs and reenactment, and I guess that's. I don't know if that's bass or bass in that thing, but it lets you get to the bottom of it all. It's
All about the bass.
low rent spirits there. So yeah, we do this now every Monday night, and it's our therapy. I went to see my physician for a physical. He said he had some bad news. I have to stop masturbating. I said, why? He said, because I'm trying to examine you. Okay.
My doctor says it all the time.
And Ed, there's a rant for you.
Topic, please.
We'll wait for that topic to come from Grouchy.
You need to have a list of topics, Ed.
Write it out during the week while things are pissing you off.
Yeah, nothing pissed me off in the news last week yet, so
That's because you were
I was at the beach.
Yeah.
And pay attention to the fucking
Yeah, what
news.
the hell?
So.
That's right. It's good times there. So
Hell.
what?
Sorry.
It's okay. Rant on. Do you want to rant? Oh, they want you to.
No, I had
Oh,
to tell you though, right at the beginning of the film, of the show, a producer wants to connect with me, and he does horror movies and such.
Nice.
And then we get back to there. He did Puppet Master.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple others. So.
Now, Puppet Master 1 or some of the others?
I don't know. I gotta look it up again. The horror one. Let me look them up again. Off topic.
We are anywhere from.
We are older than you.
Yeah, but not much older.
Sorry.
It's no. You're right, Andrew. You had it. I'm dropping Ash. I just Ash.
Okay, Grouchy Moss says pick my own topic. Anybody else got a topic they want me to rant about? Like I said, I could just talk about these motherfuckers that, they want me to do a goddamn rant, but then they won't tell me a fucking topic to rant on. I mean, what the hell? What's up with that shit?
There you go. So what can you do about that, Ed?
I don't know.
Okay. Our ages range from, I guess, 40 to 50. Roundabout. You rant about the DMV there? Oh, bottled water?
Bottled water.
Bottled water.
We could do the rest of the show about bottled water.
By the way, Grouchy Ma, that was one of Travis's originals way back when he told me I was going to have to do rants. That's what he told me to do when nobody would give me a topic. So
true story. True story. It's You okay, Elizabeth? How you doing? You had a rough day, right?
I'm taking my pants off.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Puppet Master 4.
Okay. Okay.
Can you imagine? Okay, hang on.
All right. This is. I mean, the show was Charming Underclothes, so let's see it.
There's a room full of married people. What do I have on? Okay. What do I have?
Andrea and I aren't married.
I'm surprised Bob didn't tune in just from seeing the title.
He said pan down. A bit of bomb? Is that a bit of bomb?
That's what I'm saying. If a bit of bomb doesn't like being called a bit of bomb can tell me how to say a bit of bomb where it's not a bit of bomb. And by the way,
So, Roughhead, you were thirsty, so what did you get? The IPA or the water?
yeah, the other day in
So I was
Kmart.
online.
Mhm.
I've been listening to people ranting lately, just this last day or two, about Solo and some of the Star Wars movies, and apparently they're trying to start a what do you call it?
Petition.
A boycott, because they disagree with the direction Kathleen Kennedy is taking all these films.
I saw somebody on Twitch ranting about that. I'm just kind of like, give me a
growing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it difficult to argue their points and how there's a photo of her wearing a shirt, all these other women, and it says the Force is female. One of their big arguments is that they're trying to bring social justice into Star Wars, and their comment was there's too many white men and there needs to be more diversity. And I don't watch Star Wars for that. I watch Star Wars for Star Wars, you know. And I guess the robot in Solo is equal rights for all robots. And
what?
I'm not gonna bitch until I see it.
I'm probably gonna wait for Netflix because I'm hurting on money right now. But it's interesting that people have such strong feelings towards films. It's truly supporting my theory that film is today's modern myth.
And they're so upset about it, and they haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah. But how
they're really upset about
irate about a film that's not out yet?
Yeah.
They ripped other films. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I can't argue their points because a lot of their points I agree with. But film is film. For me, it's a matinee, popcorn. It's interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
There's a tint of social justice warrior in most movies these days. To be honest, my complaint is it's forced and distracting. Not that I don't believe in social justice. Mostly, it's just distracting and forced.
Yeah.
Save the porgs.
I do have to agree with that. Even television shows these days, my wife and I will be watching a television show, and it's like, okay, here it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to do this? Okay, I'm watching fucking SWAT. I expect to see people shot and die and blood and shit like that. Okay, I don't want to see that bullshit. Is that a rant?
Good job.
Cut yourself off.
Social justice warrior is the new romantic subplot where they bring it in and you go, did it make the movie better? Because if it did, it absolutely belongs in there. If it brought forward the topic that drives the theme of the movie. But if you're putting it in there just because you gotta nowadays, then it's useless.
Yeah, we have to have the black person. We have to have the interracial couple. We have to have the gay person. It's like every fucking movie now, every TV show now. It's like,
oh, it's kind of like our show, aren't we? All of these.
We're Benetton, United Colors of Benetton. I was giggling on the train because I'm writing this script. I'm making it horror about people turning into pickles and I figured out the only way it's got to be a horror. It's got to be kind of gross. So they got to get in your mouth, right? So these pickles are trying to jump in your.
So far, so good. Go on.
Okay. So at one point, they trap this millennial because they're all college kids. The pickles get her trapped, or she can't move, and they're trying to get into her mouth, and she won't open her mouth. So how they do it is they show her things that are like racist or offensive, and she can't contain herself, so she goes to object, and that's when they get in her mouth.
Couple comments from the crew here. I'm going to answer a bit of bombs first. I doubt your show was engineered to be diverse. It just happened that way, which is how it should be. You're
because
wrong.
We don't plan shit. It just all happens.
No, you're wrong. I purposely chose a diverse crew because I didn't want 4 or 5 middle-aged white guys who all agree on everything on the show. I wanted to have diverse opinions. But the people have to fit well. And that's more important. Otherwise, like we were discussing with the movie, it pulls you out because now you're forcing this shit instead of it being natural. And John says it's crept into comics also. A news story was about a shop that went as far as barring customers from ordering a book they didn't like. I bought a $1 laser. I'm pointing it at a member of the tavern. I was wondering what the hell.
Is it me?
Be careful, I'll shoot back.
Is it the cat? Is that why the cats are crazy now?
Could be.
Red light!
Cuttlefish in the window behind me. But yeah, it's the diversity is important because then you don't have all the same point of view. And previously we have what do you got? Is it Kevin?
Kevin.
Show's hosts were a black man, a white man, a Jewish mother, a Brit, and Puerto Rican. True. And we are broadcasting from a cigar shop owned by a Chinese Mexican. It's
true.
We like the differences because I get to hear something I might not think of. And it doesn't mean we don't have a guest on who's exactly like one of us. It's just a matter of, our cast, we want to make sure we have more than one opinion between 5 of us.
But I think what binds us is our similarities, and that we read, we think, we're open-minded, and we like to debate.
Here's that.
Not argue. We have discussions.
Well, here's the thing about that previous cast, though. The black guy and the Puerto Rican were the 2 most conservative people that were on the show.
True. Absolutely true.
That's the funny part.
Yeah.
In the 5 years we've been doing this, there's been all kinds of occasions where we've discussed topics where we have not agreed at all on our personal viewpoints on the topic.
Like the
producer. But I don't think none of us have ever argued or fallen out with each other over those differences of opinion. Yeah. Because we're all open-minded enough to agree that, okay, all right, I don't agree with your point of view, but I respect your right to have it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Toei says she's annoyed by the new all-girl Oceans, whatever number we're up. Yeah. And I bit a bomb. Go ahead.
Oh.
Do you have a comment?
I was just going to say,
Go ahead,
since we all appear to be talking about shit that's annoying us, the company I work for, fuck them, I'll name them. They don't watch this show. Green King. They're a brewery in Britain. So the Royal Wedding just came out recently, and when that happened, for the week that was on, week leading up to the Royal Wedding, we had a special guest ale available in all of the pubs that our chain own all the way across the country. And for the British Royal Wedding, our guest ale was an American pale ale called Something Borrowed, Something Brewed. 2 words, fuck off.
Heard it wasn't very good either.
No, it's fucking horrible. I tried it, and don't get me wrong, I'm an ale drinker. I'll drink lager, but I'm a bitter drinker, what British call bitter, or we call real ale. But yeah, IPAs, things like that. It was fucking horrible. It was nasty. It was weak.
Hey,
it was
Kevin.
thin. There was no flavour to it.
Roughhead says, "Will the limey shut up?"
Maybe.
Then he said,
maybe not.
Did he say yeah.
And by the way, Bitbomb, since you're back to listening, I'm going to go ahead and address your last couple points here. I see what you mean. I don't read too much into it. But what about ignoring skin color? There's so much diversity of thought beyond skin color, race, etc. Isn't that the point? Yeah, that's absolutely the point, because the only time Ed's skin color comes up, or Kevin's, he's British instead of American, we love these things because they lead
in
to
fun.
a joke. Yeah.
In fun.
Yeah, we've said for years
go ahead, Kevin.
We've said for years that I'm the show's token minority.
Unless it was the show about the black man and the Confederacy.
Yeah.
And if it so happens that within your clique you have 5 middle-aged white guys, that's not some kind of foul unless you excluded others based on that, which is exactly right. I just happen to find a great diverse crew who don't all look alike. And so far I like the black guy the best because he said the best shit. Fucking racist. What kind of comment is that?
Don't we all?
Ed has a lot of fan following in here, like Countess who's going to get ice cream.
Oh, I'll take some.
Yeah, there is. People aren't necessarily excluded in it, but yeah, there's still there's a beauty in different political views, religious views, backgrounds, upbringings, experiences, etc. 3 years later, when Travis must, I'm assimilating them all. Andrea's going to look beautiful with one.
A bit of bomb. I never thought anything you said was a rant at all.
I didn't think it was either.
Yeah.
No, you're preaching to the choir, but
Oops.
It's because we are inclusive. The only time we're not inclusive is when somebody's just a complete asshole. And by the way, you could be a partial asshole because heaven knows we're fucking assholes. And we are assholes too. We're not just fucking them. What?
I have a patch somewhere.
Andrew does. We actually have asshole patches. No, we love different points. Yeah. You know, it's I bet a bomb. Earlier we mentioned this. I'm going to mention it briefly again because we already told the story. But this weekend when you found us, we were randomly broadcasting. There's her asshole patch. And one guy came on and made a joke about, hey, KFC guy, how do you make the chicken? You made the Monopoly Man joke. And I rolled with those. And you guys both subscribed. Some other guy came in and made the pube joke. I think you were on air when we told this story, not just the beginning of the hour, I think it was. And he didn't hang around because the bottom line is if you want to make a joke, we get the joke back. And then if we all laugh, welcome to the club.
Right, yeah.
You know, but if you can't take it, then you're in the wrong place. Or else if you're just going to be a complete hater, then fuck you, get out. We don't got time for that. There's too much to do together.
We got a little bit of time for it. We got just enough time it takes to take the piss out of you. Very good.
And hide the body.
Yeah, Saturday morning, 5 a.m., Saturday morning coffee. Oh, you didn't subscribe? Oh, you got the Twitch Prime logo. I was thinking you subscribed. You don't have the subscriber thing. So if you're not subscribed to anybody with Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. That's why I was thinking you subscribe. No big deal. Either way.
No, we like you being here. Either way, we like you being here.
It's maybe one day when we're huge with 1,000 people viewing, I'll make the chat subscriber only, but there we go. You know, don't cross the streams.
Yeah,
good conversation.
But professors, I never loved you.
Until the darkest hour, my mad existence. I kept my promise.
Now keep your distance.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, there's the link.
The link just came up.
Go ahead, Andrea. Go on.
We just got 3 subscribers. Yeah.
Woo! Andrea?
And then we sang, and 2 of them left again.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just going to say the link came up if you want to subscribe for updates. Once a week only tells you what's coming up.
Yeah, so subscribe.
Can I just point out as well, because everyone's being very selfless and not mentioning this. Scroll down the page, you'll also find Amazon wish lists for all of us.
And a bit of bomb, you probably could be one of us guys, and you are, because you're in here chatting. Now, I'll tell you what, there's sometimes you're going to go on, and we're in the middle of something. I'm not going to read every comment. I'm not going to answer everything. Doesn't mean we don't appreciate you commenting. But it'll happen sometimes. But on the third hour, something like this, we're laid back, relaxed, we're not hot on a topic. Absolutely love talking to the folks viewing because it's a good time.
Quick question, if you don't mind answering, where are you from? A bit of bomb.
FBI.
Yeah, see, that's my luck.
Government surveillance program.
Goddamn NSA is watching me again.
Well, do me a favor, spread it to the other surveillance vans, and we get more viewers.
Yeah, it's all right.
I bet you a lot of the government agents would find us awesome. You're a captivating commentator. Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Okay.
Good enough. We don't need the street address or anything.
Yeah, we're not trying to stalk you. We're just curious.
Yeah.
We ain't driving to Texas. Cool. That's like a 3-day. We'll be in like Kevin's time zone by the time we get there.
You guys obviously never hunted before. You frightened him. You scared away.
If they succeed from the union, though, I might have to move there.
Are we talking about Texas?
Texas, yeah.
God bless Texas.
See, Kennedy says, I work for a New York City agency. That makes me a government agent. No, absolutely it does. Now put on your onesie and drive the train. Director of Software Engineering with a kid. Congratulations, bud, on getting a kid all the way through high school. Now, are they moving out? Or are they
a normal person? What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, you're in the wrong show.
My kid graduated and moved.
Sort of.
Mine are far off, counting the days. Already got the snake room planned out for when they fuck off.
We love our kids, and we love it when they leave, too. Because Andrea and I talk about this a lot. There's if you dedicate your whole life to your kids, and then when they leave, suddenly you have no life, you did it wrong. You need to start planning the last couple of years to have your own life, for if not anything, for your kids' sake, so they do go out and become productive adults or whatever they want to be when they grow up.
Or just so they go out.
Dave Kennedy says, yeah, need help on the move part, not the graduating part.
You still haven't moved out? What the hell, Kennedy?
Your parents must
pay my airfare to the US, give me an hour, I'll get the fucker out.
Noted. Writing that down. Clipping it so I have video proof.
A bit about the company I used to work for. Their headquarters is in the Dallas area. NEC Corporation of America. I'm sure you've heard of them. Now watch, he probably works for them.
I have a lot of friends down in Texas. It's by a lot. Yeah, see, he's heard of them.
Has the board gotten bigger?
It's enormous. You guys don't appreciate how big this board is.
So is this a new
It looks like it grew.
I thought that earlier. I was
Did you rub
watching you
it?
draw them. Like, how big is that board?
It's like the super extra big one. I can give you measurements right now.
Is that the same one?
This is what happens when you keep things in your bedroom. They see you undressed, they get bigger.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's got a big board in her bedroom.
I got a big hard board. I got to rub because it's dry.
Careful, the kids are just waiting on the wheel. It's a dead giveaway.
But
They would be proud.
Yeah.
I got to look up the font.
A bit of bomb every episode, every Monday night episode. Elizabeth is an artist, and she draws on her dry erase board, adding tidbits from different topics or moments or themes.
Whatever we talked about.
And if you're on Facebook, we have a closed group called VIP, Virtual International Pub, and I change the cover photo to whatever she draws every week.
You can also find all the old pictures from the show since Elizabeth started doing it on her Instagram account.
Morning, Star! Yeah. Good to see you, buddy. Long neck on the bar. I think it's a tentacle, but I'm not sure. It could be pizza. It's hard to tell from this distance. Let's see here.
But if you follow Talk of the Tavern on Instagram or Twitter, I usually post things on there. The VIP group. You have to answer questions so we know you're not a bot or a spammer. But if you like this kind of humor, you'll like the group.
I bit a bomb. I think you're right. It's a giraffe. It could be a giraffe.
Oh!
Milking a giraffe.
Somebody's milking it.
Ding, ding. Give that man a cigar.
Thanks to a display I came across in the zoo in Rome when I was there last year, I can confirm that I am the same height as a baby giraffe.
No!
I thought you were going to say your dick was just as long as a giraffe.
Well, I don't like to brag, Ed, especially when I'm on the same show as you.
Okay.
Wow.
Competition is good. Roughhead says, I kept mentoring a robotics team my son started, and after he and my daughter were out of high school, but when I couldn't mentor a referee, I need to find something else. Welcome to the tavern. You've got something.
Found us.
You get the headsets, the earbuds for your phone, and then you can listen to us during the weekdays. Yeah.
It's
When
a
you're
little different.
There we go. And we've got about 10 minutes left. Anybody got anything else they want to bitch about work, or about not being on vacation at the beach or in the mountains? Or... Elizabeth can't
Yeah,
wait
I
today.
like to constantly bitch about the fact that I'm not in the mountains or at the beach, despite the fact that I live 4 fucking minutes from it.
Yeah, just roll down the hill.
Pretty much.
You'll hit it.
That will be happening all day Thursday and Friday.
What's going on there?
You know the miniature pub crawl we went on when you guys came over?
Yes, I do.
Only 13.
I'm essentially planning a full-size version of that.
Oh, well, shit. Take videos.
Road trip.
Toasted.
Yeah, it could be a prime video moment, or it could be a horrendously bad idea. Either
Whatever.
way, I'll take the video anyway.
Yeah. Either way.
Damn it, it'll be entertaining.
That's pretty much what it was.
You have your friends take it when you pass out.
Yeah. I'm just getting the right. I got toasted at the top of the tavern in permanent marker on my forehead while I snore unconsciously in the corner.
Which version of Phantom of the Opera did you just see, Victoria? And Roughhead, yes, there's beaches in UK. As an island.
It lives on an island. It's
has
all beach.
Yeah, curious. Yeah, living on an island, I kind of can't avoid a beach, really.
And as for mountains, well, you should see his wife.
That's some serious Twin Peaks. Looks like she's trying to smuggle 2 bald guys in somewhere.
2 pumpkins rolling around in a shirt.
It's more like 2 it looks like 2 tomcats having a fight in a carrier bag.
Fred.
Fred is out of the house tonight. Fred is locked out of the house.
Ooh.
Fred is in disgrace.
Oh, Victoria, you were away, but Roughhead wanted to know what kind of ice cream. So what kind of ice cream did you come up with?
I bit a bomb in the big picture. Yes, we all live on islands.
A viewing audience wants to know, what did Fred do?
Yeah, I did.
I came home and found the contents of my food waste bin delicately rearranged across the entire surface of my kitchen floor.
Bad Fred.
Did he get anything good?
Yeah. Did he get anything good? He was after some chicken scraps that were in there.
So did you take them away?
He got those. Well, I guess so. I found the remains of the packet that they'd been in, and it was empty, and I know there was stuff in there. So, yeah, he got the chicken he was after. Strangely, he didn't eat, like, the cauliflower leaves and stuff like that. Must be a fussy cat.
Big ice cream sandwich,
Mississippi mud. Mmm.
That was sexy, Ed. Do that again.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? Chocolate with cream in the middle? Yeah. I'll serve that up.
Okay, Toey's
Towie's comment.
Go ahead, read it off, Kev.
So I would bitch about my neighbour accidentally severing his cable when digging in his yard, and as a result there's now an 80-foot temporary cord stretched across my yard to hook him up, but I'm too busy laughing at him to be mad.
Fair point. It's always better to laugh. What is the island? Probably Manhattan.
I think it's a reference to the movie. Victoria says, do it again, Ed.
I told you it was good. You have all our attention. Next time Ed's just going to rant, he's going to be, baby.
In Mississippi mud, yeah.
Elizabeth,
Who are we going to raid?
Oh, I'll go check that. Well, Elizabeth returned to her chair when we mentioned bitching, so I didn't want to cut her off if she had something she wants to vent about.
No, it's not really a vent, but I did have, Saturday was one of the worst days. It was really awful. How awful was it? Well, I had to go to work early on a Saturday. And about 3 hours into the day, I said out loud, well, it's just going to be that kind of day. And it was like, I just was off. Like, I wasn't in the current. I was just enough to where I was getting my ass kicked on every wake. And almost everything that could go bad did go bad for about 8 9 hours. It was most amusing. It was horrible to experience, but it was most amusing at the end.
Look at you, making lemonade out of shit. That's what you said last week when I was broadcasting the storm.
Making lemonade out of shit, man. Well, my father did say that you could throw me in a pile of horse shit and I'll come out with a pony. It's made out of shit, but it's make-believe. But it is a pony.
You're an artist. Hold on while I sculpt this shit.
Wait a minute. This isn't horse shit. This is. This is Travis's shit.
Damn it.
Is that what you were doing over here?
Tasting your shit. Well, no, mate, that's Andreas. More tea in this. What are you drinking?
Or spitting.
Sparkling cider.
Ooh.
I like the bottles.
That's
I
the
feel
end.
fancy.
Yeah.
A bit of bomb says my girlfriend says that too, but I doubt her sometimes. What
That's not your shit.
What he said.
We all doubt your girlfriend. No, we don't. She's right. You're wrong, man. See, this is why I love the show. This. That's what I enjoy.
This is why we are a great talk show, because you can interact with us, the guest, and each other.
Mm-hmm.
Throw your bits at us. Watch videos.
Can't depreciate my self-appreciating humor. It's in the rules. Like a cowboy with shit on his mustache. He was looking for love in all the wrong places.
All the wrong places.
Like El Paso.
Or like Luke Skywalker kissing Leia, who was looking for love in Alderaan places.
Alderaan.
It's so what do you think? Off camera, did he bang her?
Probably. Wouldn't you have?
Who knows?
Well, she had the affair with Harrison Ford.
Did she?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Notice nobody's like, good for Harrison. They're all like, good for Carrie. Well done, Carrie. Score on that one. You meet Sean Connery yet? It's his daddy. Did he, Leia?
Oh. Where's that noise thing?
Yeah, I need the wah noise, don't I?
Yeah.
Yes, I bet a bomb we are in the same house. Every once in a while, if you watch carefully, you'll see one of us appear in the other one's camera. We're just in different rooms for the sake of sound quality. And also, we have our own little layout and spread in front of us so we can...
You said layout.
That's not funny.
Don't giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his office. I'm in my office. You know.
I like your skulls.
Hey.
Isn't that great? Actually, I think this came from Kato. It's just material I put over the purple.
Who was our
it's too
Asian
shiny.
co-host for a short time.
Yeah.
Yes,
she works a lot.
So, now, I bet a bomb says that you got hosed. Andrea, you got hosed for the best room. Time to renegotiate. Can I ask you to pull back the curtain for a moment? Because...
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pull back your curtains.
Pull it off. Pull it off.
She's got her whole room set up, and she's very happy with it. She has all kinds of cool stuff in there. And it's hers. And
Right here above my computer is my homage to Wolverine and my Wolverine claw. It is a real weapon.
So...
Well, you could really cut up some deviled eggs there.
Oh, damn. That could make some awesome sex.
I have daggers and swords and my set of sai hanging on the wall. Other swords are in the bedroom. You know,
Kato.
like you do.
Kevin, because you didn't put a space between the last dot and the HTTP, it didn't come out as a link.
Didn't it? It looks like a link to me.
Click on it.
No,
Works.
Really? Okay, it doesn't work on mine.
Yeah.
not for us.
Oh, okay. Hang on. There you
But I
go.
could fix
All right,
that.
Bittabomb, you come around long enough, there's a chance we'll bring you on for an episode or something like that. We've got enough going on, we can do it.
There you go, I put
and
it.
funny. Wait a minute, if you're photogenic and funny, we don't need that kind of fucking pressure.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Oh, no.
I don't need that competition on the show.
Get the fuck out of here.
Good night, Toey. We'll see you during the week. And
Good night, Toey.
Yeah, good night, Toey.
I am going to set up the raid here, and I am going to set up the closing music.
Oh,
Closing
we
Toad. Here's to a damn good time. Didn't even touch musicals, because here's our favorite films that nobody's fucking heard of.
Producers was musical.
Thanks, guys, for hanging with us. Appreciate it.
See you tomorrow.
Some outro music.
Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
Ice Flash by Six. Join the raid, guys. Jump on over to Wealthy Shipper. Well. Night, Victoria.
Bye, Victoria.
Let us flip over